You feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. Don't just stop it. Doing what you do. When I lay back, holding on to you. Ooh, ooh. Feel like something new. Yeah. Got my senses here on overload. All my body is for you to hold. Ooh, ooh. Feel like something new. Yeah. And I never thought that you got me wanting. Never thought that never thought that never thought that that I'd be saying you feel more like a dream. Yeah. You feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. I feel like I'm in another galaxy. Take my time in your eternity. Ooh, ooh. Feel like something new. Yeah. And I never thought that you got me wanting. Never thought that never thought that never thought that that I'd be saying you feel more like a dream. Yeah. Feel like something. I pack my suitcase, headed out the door, I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home, a couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
Miles past, turning back, found my track, face the fact, she a cold one. Never gonna settle for none, stay up every night till I won. Don't want a slow rise now, I'm confident opulence isn't a long ride out. When I look back now, I'm astounded. A quiet boy from old age, but always felt the world was a stage, yeah. I celebrate one last late night, my old life ain't staying.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door, I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home, a couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
I'm headed to LA.
Miles, throw it on the dash. Shit, 10,000 hours, can't let them pass. Yeah, well, I was putting time in, you was pulled up wildin'. You always had shit to say, now when I see you, it's silence. Thought I'd have a Grammy by 25. Commas after commas next to dollar sign, yeah. Had to remind myself why I'm living this life. Look at all the late nights, it'll all come in due time, yeah.
Made for the fight, for the pain and the climb, tied to the life I chose. Stay through the night, another day, not a dime. Race against time. I couldn't just lay by and wonder what I could have made mine. I'm closing on the moment, no one's gonna hold me down.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door, I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home, a couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
direction and find that I left my distractions behind. In the meantime, I'll blindfold my pride and keep hold of my time like it's gold. Fading from color, reaching to find when I wonder how. Saying it'll all be fine, while still I'm wasting time. Fading from color, stuck in the backseat and told to drive. Hearts are overrated, yeah. If you make one, you will fall. Too much of a temptation, yeah. There's a comfort in the crawl. Now I've been on my feet too long. I know I'm strong, just looking for some solid ground, so I can start to run. I don't wanna be tired, moving so bad, right. I don't wanna be tired, feels like it's my time. I don't need your light. Don't you waste your time. Don't you waste your
Yeah. La 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 la. Yeah. Your life hits hard, but I hit right back. I never back down, I keep it on track. It's the same day with no problems. I keep rising from the bottom, Cause when the sun comes up and I look around, I can feel that love, I can hear that sound. They're never gonna hold me down, I'm higher than the ceiling now. And then I need to worry about, cause I got no problems. I know it's gonna be alright, it's getting better every time. Nobody's gonna kill my vibe, cause I got no problems. Yes, every day was a war. Yeah, it kinda took a while. When they tell me I should stay, I just jump with a smile. Yeah, it's hard until you notice. Everybody's got their moment. When the sun comes up and I look around, I can feel that love, I can hear the sound. Listen up. They're never gonna hold me down, I'm higher than the ceiling now. And then I need to worry about, cause I got no problems. I know it's gonna be alright, it's getting better every time. Nobody's gonna kill my vibe, cause I got no problems. Cause I got no problems. Cause I got no problems. Do you feel a little down? Say it, no problems. Let you in, but you out. Sing it, no problems. They're never gonna hold me down, I'm higher than the ceiling now. Have none I need to worry about, cause I got no problems. They're never gonna hold me down, I'm higher than the ceiling now. And none I need to worry about, cause I got no problems. I know it's gonna be alright, it's getting better every time. Nobody's gonna kill my vibe, cause I got no problems.
We're not the only ones. 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 We're not the only ones.
Days gone, I won't waste another one. All that darkness, it won't set me back again. Oh, I'm not asleep or awake. I won't let the future escape.
Take me back to you. We're not the only ones. 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 We're not the only. We're not the only ones. We're not the only ones.
Heads down, they will watch us shake the ground. Oh, this lightness, it will fill the air around. Oh, I'm not asleep or awake. I won't let the future escape.
Back to you. We're not the only ones. We're not the only. We're not the only.
Think you've seen it all? With FaceIt Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive FaceIt points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, face it.
Hello and welcome back to ESL Challenger League Season 49. We are getting into the nitty gritty of it now. Stage 2, the low seed, the elimination games. And bringing them to alongside me tonight is going to be Affinity. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm pretty hyped for this one. It's looking like it should be, and I'm going to cross my fingers, cross my toes and cross me everything before I say this. It should be an interesting game.
It should be indeed, but the fact that we've got these two teams, not only in the mid-seed group, but also in the lower bracket, does worry me a little bit. This is not exactly where I predicted either of these teams to be in this position in the season.
Yeah, I struggle when I look at these two lineups because they do just seem to have a bit of that CIS about them where, you know, you look at Aurora and you go, yes, very, very solid players. We've seen plenty of them. We know what they're capable of. And then you sort of look at the news and you're like, oh, they might just skim into the MRQs for the major. And then they bomb out in last place of the tournament that they desperately needed to make a deep run in if they were going to make that qualification. And it just stinks of that classic sort of will they, won't they, hot and cold, never quite sure what you're going to get with these kind of lineups.
Exactly, and as you can see on screen, we've got our schedule today. Here on the B stream, we have the Aurora versus Monte game, of course, and then over on the A stream, they've also got a little bit of a spicy match going on there. Copenhagen Wolves versus Rebels. Now, not going to lie out the two games, I think you guys have definitely chosen the right channel to be on here. This is looking to be pretty spicy, but there's been, as you said, a couple of recent sort of situations that lead me to be worried for both of these teams. I got the chance to cast Aurora last week versus Spirit Academy, and we were looking forward to seeing what everyone was really hyped for. Grix, it was going to be my first time casting him, and let down a little bit, didn't really get the chance to shine in the way that we'd expected. So this time I'm hoping, chance for him to redeem himself in my memory, but that is not who our Kadia player to watch is. Our Kadia player to watch this series is going to be none other than Patsy himself.
Which is a funny one, because when you look at the career arc of him, you could be forgiven for thinking that he has been underperforming, but at just 21, he really represents the highest level of experience that the entirety of this Aurora roster have, right? He's played Tier 1, he's been there, he's done that, he knows what he needs to bring to the table, and it pretty much comes across as if Patsy plays well, then Aurora are going to win. If Patsy plays badly, then they are really, really going to struggle. He is consistently right up there towards the top of the scoreboard, which, I mean, for someone who was nominated for the Rookie of the Year, 3 years ago now, you'd expect him to be putting up these kind of numbers. And it's exactly what they're going to need to put up if they're going to take down a team like Monte, who, with some chopping and changing of the roster of late, have seemed to settle on a 5-stack that looks pretty damn solid.
Doesn't it? A lot of players that have sort of been in and out of the lineup. So Gizmi and Ryu, you know, they've been on Monte and then Monte Academy, then back on Monte. They've sort of been toyed a little bit between the two. But now, as you said, it's starting to settle down a little bit. Of course, Gizmi from none other than the UK as well. He's calling the shots on this one. And actually, I've been really liking seeing what he's been coming out with. Individual performance hasn't necessarily been stellar, but honestly, the reads have been immaculate.
That's not something you normally say about UK players, is that the individual talent's not there, but the intelligence is. But he seems to be breaking that mold down just a little bit. And yeah, I've never actually casted him. I've heard vicious rumours of him ringing in the university leagues. My friends who play there are livid every time they see him connecting to the server. But obviously a big step up from the uni leagues, and he looks to be doing a pretty damn solid job with it.
Yeah, it's a really weird one. There have been multiple occasions where, you know, I think I casted him in a university league finals. And then, like, a week later, he was playing, you know, the Chengdu close qualifiers and stuff. It was whiplash, I'm telling you. But we've got the veto has just come in. So we will be seeing Mirage as the Aurora pick, Monte picking Ancient, and then Nuke as a decider. I like this as a veto. This is certainly interesting. And Nuke is that final map. I really hope that we go the distance now.
Yeah, they're a really intriguing set of teams to play against each other in terms of the vetoes. They don't match up nicely. There's lots of gaps. They like to ban each other's picks a lot of the time. You know, you look, Inferno gets banned out, Aurora solid on it. Dust 2's almost a fallback first pick for Monte if things aren't going their way. So that goes out early and it makes life difficult for them. I mean, Aurora going towards Mirage, yep, fair enough. That's exactly where they went last time, and they did a fairly solid job of it, a 13-8 takedown. It was going to be Monte who had to kind of roll the dice with this one a little bit. Obviously, last time these two teams met, 2 weeks ago, if that, they picked into Anubis. They get 13-1. They put on one CT round in the entire half. They have to do something a little bit different there. They clearly have to come into this with a different idea. And Ancient isn't a bad place to go for them. I mean, both of these teams play essentially constantly. I'm fairly sure that their players are glued to the screens at this point because they just play hundreds upon hundreds of maps in the last 3 months. But both of these lineups, honestly, pretty damn solid on Ancient. It's not like there's a lot between them.
No, it's not. And honestly, the maps that we're seeing today, Ancient being, I think that if Aurora don't manage to take Mirage, Ancient could be really tricky, and I think this will be a 2-map affair to Monte if they take Mirage. If, however, Aurora can secure their own map pick, maybe Ancient, it's a little bit dicey, but other than that, Mirage Nuke, the first map and the last map, they are very evenly matched on, but I think it's time that we get ready. We are in the serve, we've got the pistols out, and I can see some Julies already.
That's what we like to see. Ryu picking them up, probably going to go over towards the B-bomb site and anchor them down, and well, apparently he and virtually everyone else are going to go towards the B-bomb site. 3-man stack, couple into mid and looking to take aggressive control with it as well. Demq just sliding off in towards the connector initially, but now he's going to go for the push, and it's up for that youngster, Grix. Looking to take first contact here. Demq toying with it, thinking about it as his teammates start to push through under, and this is going to be the early contact in towards mid. Gizmi on the off angle should surely have a freebie, making a double as Demq surely now just falls back. Gizmi finding his team an early 5-on-3 and forcing that bomb to retreat back out of mid.
Exactly, they've toyed with them, they've got those opening picks, and the crunch, it could have been everything, but Gizmi, as you said, positioning perfect, and now lost a little bit of control over towards A. Kensei has already managed to get themselves up onto, past the choke point. But everyone's already gathered round here. Shots fired off. He's going to be noticed. They are just going to start to converge. Manages to tuck himself into sandwich. Not long left for this world, though, as Demq takes down his teammate. His support from afar, and now it's just a matter of Norway trying to keep his teammate safe from stairs. He's going to fall, and now Gizmi running out of bullets. Gets gooshed, but what can you really do from Palace here? Run away. You've got bomb on back. 30 seconds, and you are being chased down here. Gizmi not really wanting to let this go.
Now, he wants his quad kill to start the game off. I don't blame him either. Get a bit of confidence flowing through. Norway just hoping maybe to do a little bit more damage. Couple of exits on the way out would be good. A bomb plant would be an absolute miracle at this point, and Hades isn't going to let him have any of it. Nice and clean from Monte to start it off. And I mean, from Aurora, it was a nice idea. They had the initial crunch into mid, and if they trade Gizmi out cleanly 1-for-1, that's a very, very different picture. But a quick double kill from him. Neither player really expecting such a ridiculous off angle, which is almost entirely based on Demq being able to hold off top mid. It nabs Monte the pistol and an opportunity to just start building into this one. Because as you said, this is the map where if Aurora are going to take it the distance, it feels like it has to happen, and has to happen quite cleanly as well. You know, 13-8 last time these two teams met. They'll be looking for a similar result. Don't want to be giving too many away early to Monte.
No, not in the slightest. And Aurora, no bomb plant either. They are going to be going into this with absolutely nothing in their arsenal. So looking, hopefully, safety in numbers. Heading towards mid again. This time, avoiding the death trap that was Gizmi's off angle. Ryu actually falls back a little bit. Hades going to be the one to initiate contact. Has to smoke himself to get back to safety here. And they will just spam through the smoke. Try and hold him, pin him down in this position. Do so successfully for a second. The peek from Connector, Ryu gets one, and all of the information that they are huddled up here comes through. MQ now peeking out with the SMG. Gizmi long range gets one as well, and now Kenzie, last left alive once more. Tapping away with the USB. It's a little bit messy, but just buying time for his teammate to push up, and MQ not even needed.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being hypercritical there, I would have liked to have seen them let the MP9s get a bit more done. It did feel like the M4s sort of went kill hunting a little bit too much for my liking, but it's forgivable. That's really picking on the micro, and it's a clean enough 2-0 from them. Hades, a wayward spray in towards mid, shall we say, but you can get away with it a little bit against the Glocks. Get yourselves warmed up, as now Aurora, for the first time, are going to have something to say. A full buy of rifles. Norway having to drop down to the Galil to pick up a little extra utility isn't ideal, but I mean, Hades hasn't got the head armor, so there's a world where he gets a nice clean one-tap headshot out of it anyway.
That would be the perfect scenario, but I don't even think they're going to let that happen. Molotov to stop Norway even considering taking more space as they just sit behind the smoke. Kenzie trying to push through the tunnels, hoping maybe they can get the drop, but nobody is going to be showing face here. Ryu in Connector sees the flashbang, just waiting for the time to throw the smoke. There it is, backs off, and that's going to stop them pushing Connector.
I like this. Ryu's just going to sit between the two smokes, give himself a little bit of information to work with, can spot onto short. That molly, though, is going to make his life a little bit awkward. Has to dance around it. Actually gets extinguished in the smoke and allows Ryu half a gap to play with. Spots the man on short. Can't quite finish him off. Crix will come in with the trade. So one of the rifles down now for Monte. And a lack of mid-control in the 4-on-4. You can see Hades almost immediately trying to react to that, keeping the spot in towards short, but also very aware that Demq is in a precarious position, to say the least. Top of Palace, MP9 in hand. And well, Aurora, with 40 seconds on the clock, they're going to double back. And at the moment, Monte, they've got a decent read on this. Gizmi's rotating in towards CT. Hades well positioned in towards the connector. A molly and a HE to potentially try and stall this one out a little while longer. 25 seconds on the clock. It's going to be a game of timings for the T side. There goes the molly, and now stuck behind it. Clax, easy pickings for Demq, and off the top of the ramp, they are getting just busted down to nothing. Patsy doing what he can to recover it. Grabbed himself the double. Tagged down to 39. Bomb on his back with 10 seconds on the clock, though. Hades beautifully positioned, but the flash is a split second too late, and Patsy, don't do him like this, lad. A 1v4 to contend with. Lean on 44 HP. Tucked into connector, but the clock is just in the red. Milliseconds on it. And well, Monte are right in their luck there in round 3.
Oh, you are sweating. Both sides here as well. The fact that Patsy does so much to whittle it down to that. The fact that it's just a matter of milliseconds on the bomb there as well. Because there is a very real world that if that bomb goes down, it's all over. But yeah, that's exactly what we want to see coming out from Patsy. You highlighted it right at the very start. When he's firing on all cylinders, the team comes together nicely. That's what we're going to need to see, but needs the rest of the team to step up around him so they're not leaving it to these sort of split hair second decisions. So back we go, and the buy is not exactly great. AK is going to be all that saved. It's immediately taken down. Clax trying to figure out what went wrong here. Demq spots one, taken down. It's a lot of damage at least. And here's the back of Hades with the AWP rotating over. They've not exactly got the utility to deal with him or lock him out of this. Flash over, he's going to go for a little bit more here. Lean can't quite help alleviate the pressure, and Hades just waiting, hoping someone peeks him. Ryu next up to the chopping block, however.
He's forced them into con here. They've got to go for something cheeky. They've got to play around the edges of it, and it's just never going to work. Easy pickings. There's Grix, 1v3. I mean, they've got a bomb plant out of it. They've got a couple kills out of it. It's not bad. I think it's unfortunate that Patsy goes down so early. Just looking at player timing, and there is a world where he gets a freebie, opens up the site. Instead, a 4-0 start. 3 players keep up. The economy keeps building for Monte. And Aurora, I mean, you only shipped 8 rounds to Monte last time out. You need to start settling this one down sooner rather than later.
Exactly. This time, a little bit more in the back pocket to try contend with this. And the best buy we've seen from them so far. We've got the head armor coming out on everyone. And this time, a little bit more utility to boot as well. Whether they're going to get a chance to use it, that does yet to remain to be seen. This time, they're going to send DemQ up towards mid as well. Gizmy, why not throw the whole kitchen sink at this control? But actually, immediately back over towards A. It's been a little bit too quiet, and here comes the barrage of utility.
It's another straight A exec. Monte, they're going to be tested once more on this A bomb site. I mean, Paravision, Aurora, there we go. All the CIS teams clearly think there's a little bit of a weakness here, something they can exploit, and they're going to get themselves a bomb plant. Gone for all 3 smokes, though, so no real angle to fight out of this. Buys them seconds, but as Hades picks Kenzie through the smoke, it gets a little bit awkward. Patsy stuck, flashed in, can't quite find Hades. His position now known, and they're just waiting for that second batch of smokes to fade as Hades continues to wreak havoc from CT. Finally caught, finally dealt with by Patsy. And as the rest of the team start to come in, there's Grix, the youngster on the AWP, levels things out. Another leg shot found. They just can't identify the fights here. DemQ does well to find one, but it's not going to be enough. The bomb is too far ticked, and that A-site weakness that clearly Aurora is seeing has finally been exploited.
That smoke over towards Connector did so much heavy lifting there. It trapped 4 of them out of the ability to really look into this fight for over half of the potential retake time there. The fact that Hades is alone just desperately trying to chip away and find players, he gets caught off guard simply because they can just overwhelm him. He can fire 1 shot off at a time and there is no backup, nothing to trade with here. So yeah, that smoke, the utility coming out from Aurora, the fact that they had the money for it is going to be beautiful for them. Now we've got to see them double down on this as well. We can't really afford to let them have this be a one and done. And as you said, A-site weakness, they re-bolster it a little bit. Less focus towards mid, more focus towards ramp. But now, Aurora switch up the pace and they head over towards B.
Should be read relatively quickly by Monte, but it is going to be a bit of a game of timings. They're going to push all the way through ramp, and they're actually going to commit to it. Ryu and DemQ. They'll clear all the way through, so that starts to allow the rotations to come in. Got to be careful. Mid control still not established. Kenzie well placed, and there's the spot. They know Ryu's on this flank now. Grix is going to have to hit this shot. Ryu's looking for the timing. It's an ugly old spray, but he manages to deal with Clax, and now in TV, he's going to wreak havoc. DemQ there to back his man up. Finally, Patsy deals with the first. But DemQ's just got to stay alive at this point. He locks them out of the A bomb site. That bomb is still stuck in TV. That HE is perfectly timed to deal with Patsy. And once again, the bomb is stranded. Norway will get the kill, but with 45 seconds on the clock, the whole round is in disarray. Kenzie is deep towards CT, and Norway, he needs to keep this bomb alive. He needs to buy time for that second man to flank his way around, and he's stuck at the moment. Into TV, Lean is making it an absolute nightmare for Norway to get anywhere. They want to try and pinch in towards this B bomb site. Lean needs to get out of dodge and knows it. Buying yet more time. The Molotov goes down with just 20 seconds on the clock, and Kenzie's shadow betrays him. The bomb going to double back all the way to A, but it can be caught on the crosshair. Hades in a good position to cut him off before he can get anywhere near that plant if he reads it well. And there he is, rotating in just as this bomb looks to come across. It's an ugly fight from both players. That will surely allow the plant, but no. Time is dead, as you said. And it's a one-and-done round from Aurora.
Second time in 6 rounds that it's been just about missed on the plant. But yeah, you're right. And it's so difficult there. The fact that not only do you catch the players out in mid, the fact that you have DemQ to back up that player. so that you can alleviate all pressure, that you keep the bomb trapped outside TV for so much time, that by the time that they've managed to find anything, there's no time to run to site and plant. The fact that Hades manages to get there just in time to cut off that rotate, doesn't even need the kill, just needs to stall for a couple of seconds. And it's really, really well done there as well. And Monte, I'm loving this from them. You said the HE in towards TV was absolutely immaculate, and it's just so clean.
They're looking really damn solid so far. It was, I think, a couple of missed opportunities there from Aurora. You know, you see the flank coming in, they pick off Ryu. If they get him relatively cleanly, then suddenly the round's on and you've got avenues back into either side. But a run and gun MP9 gets one. And then because they've got one man into TV, they're almost guilty of just switching off a little bit when it comes to the second player who's with him. They don't expect a second man there. That gives a free kill away that way. And it feels like Aurora are relying on the clutches at the moment more than sort of the breaking down of a team and the tactical decisions they're making. You know, we've had Patsy very nearly get there with a big clutch. We had an A execute that worked, and then a 2v4 last round that they nearly managed to stitch together. Just couldn't quite find the kills. Feels like they need a bit more consistency. They really are going to challenge this Monte lineup again, and it was only a couple of weeks ago that they did, so they've definitely got it in their locker. Smoke goes deep in towards B, wards the AWP of Grix out of that. And we reset with mid control being taken. Kenzie just looking for anything at the moment. A little spam through, hoping to draw some presence, draw some info, and maybe keep some eyes away from that A bomb site as the bomb looks to group on ramp.
We talked about A being a weakness, and here it is again. One player left by their lonesome to try contend with this. And yes, there's a smoke in Palace just holding them off for now, but that's not going to last forever. The flash into mid's perfect, but it's only good for one. However, there it is. Hades pops out an immediate trade, and that has been the benefit. They've been playing so well off of one of each other, Monte. Now DemQ has backup here. The rotate's so quick. Hades, quick adjustment, spots them, knows that at least one is in sandwich. Nade goes deep, and Patsy gonna be feeling that one tomorrow. And now they just keep hammering the utility. Hades with another headshot. And now, what can you really do? They've managed to get onto site, but there is no safe space to plant here.
Flanked as well. Lean's going for the backstab here on the MP9. He's going to get so much for free, and there it is. Last man isolated, last man dealt with. 6 on the board for Monte. And again, I mean, clearly Aurora, they're coming back to this A bomb site time and again. They are hammering it, but it's really not giving. You know, you've got one round that you managed to make stick. Mid control's looking really, really solid for Monte. That counter flash in was timed to perfection. It was just at the moment where Aurora was starting to think, right, yeah, we're going to come out ramp. We're going to split into this A bomb site and get something done. And suddenly you've got 3 players swarming your mid and making it look very one-dimensional. So 6th round on the board, and I mean, it's not ugly yet, but it is getting that way all too quickly for Aurora. We've already seen them take one timeout. I would have argued, honestly, take a second. With 3 techs, a Deeg and an AK in hand, this round's one of those where you are just praying a fast B hit works. Hades is having none of it. The first, the second, picked off at the pass, and once again, Monte are more than ready for this. 3 players over towards the B bomb site. Fast rotations in place. What little util Aurora had has already gone. And when you're going to give Hades open sight lines, you know, he's an AWPer of a plenty strong enough caliber. If you're going to give him 1v1s on players, you can jump, you can strafe, you can do what you like. He's going to shoot you out the sky like he's playing clay pigeon.
Exactly. And the fact that Gizmi's already posted up to make sure no one heads through connect over towards A. Love Norway's position here. This is the only thing they've really got working. Needs to catch somebody off guard, but instead heads up ladder.
Trying to go through the window.
Yeah, trying to make sure his teammates can get into jungle okay. Here it is. And Gizmi actually might be caught with his pants down here. It's going to be a matter of time. He caught with util out. Messy, but gets it. Not going for the weapon there. Chooses not to go and get greedy with it, but look at that. Rotate's already come through to adjust for it. Lean's waiting, but Norway is slightly quicker on the trigger. DemQ spots an arm, is not going to be baited out by this. Backs off to allow his teammates room to come and help out. Ryu just waiting for the peek up, greedy for the kill, and he shall punish. And now, one player left alive, low HP, does have the bomb, but 12 seconds. Even if you can get onto site, it's going to be close, and they are not going to want to let you plant this.
He might get half an angle to do so. Oh, the HE goes a bit too deep. So we will get away with a plant at the very least. And honestly, given how the rounds have been going for Aurora, I think 3 kills and a bomb plant, yeah, we'll take that absolutely every day of the week, especially considering it was a 3v5 very, very early on in proceedings. But the problem is we're looking for silver linings in those kind of rounds, and they're 7-1 down, right? At this point, you need to be sort of pulling the miracle rounds out. You need to be getting those sort of half buys really starting to sting Monte. It's just not been the case for the T side of Aurora so far. We'll have the full buy into this one, though. Orp in the hand of Grix once again, who, yeah, he's been there or thereabouts when he's been put in positions to have impact. The problem is that Monte have really not let him settle. You know, when you're a T-side Orper, you want to be able to get onto your angles, hold them down, wait for the CTs to make the mistake first. And it's been pushes. It's been keeping Grix on his toes. They've never really let him have the open sight lines that we've seen Hades benefiting from. And it shows in the KD.
Exactly, and by the time that he gets to the fights as well, often the opening duels have already been lost. I don't know about you as well, is that it feels like the Aurora haven't been in a position to trade any of these opening duels. That they're just losing every fight, you know, 2 players down and having to try claw something back. Which is why we're like, oh, you know, they managed to get a couple of kills and a bomb plant with a 2-player disadvantage. But it's been like that for so many rounds now. And Griggs, a player that's been looking really individually strong, but just hasn't been able to be put in these positions the past couple of series that they played within ECL to really shine the way that I think they were hoping that he would.
Faster paced play this time from Aurora, potentially looking to catch Monte just a little off guard, but Hades spotted, jump spot back. Won't give his life up just yet in towards mid, which is a nice little tech from Aurora. It does get them the mid control, which is something that's been very hotly contested so far this map. Takes 4 players and, well, half of all the utility they have to make it happen, but they get the mid control, and you can see it sort of split Monte a little bit. When I say a little bit, I mean a lot. They've made a gamble call here. Lean will be left posted over towards the B-bomb site. A 4-man stack of A enables them to push ramp through Demq and Gizmi, not really spotting anything out yet, not getting the information that they've had in previous rounds, and with just a minute left on the clock, we won't see those kind of round-the-world flanks that they've been getting away with previously, just not enough time to really make that effective. So it becomes a bit of a gamble. It's where do Aurora go? Do we get lucky with the stack? And, well, Hades picks one off at the pass very early on. Bottom con gets the opening kill and now can reset inside of the site itself. Just getting free reign over it at the moment. Finally, he's put down by Grix inside the site, and Clax has spotted something here. The shoulder peek gets Gizmi. Patsy chimes in nicely onto Ryu, and Gizmi 1-for-1 trades just not quite going to be enough. Demq can't get there either, and it's on to Lean. The late B lurk is never going to land. Aurora have their second, and it's off the back of that fast-paced mid-control.
Exactly. First time that they properly secured it, and it's worked out so well. And they actually end up pushing into the more stacked site there. And I was looking at this. It looked like a really nice defensive for Monte. They had Gizmi over on Tetris. They had Demq on ramp, just sort of hiding, waiting for any rotates potentially, and can jump out as that sort of unknown element if everything does go pear-shaped. But actually, that Molotov over towards Gizmi, which shuts him out of the fight completely. They get the kill off of that. Demq can't then push to try trade or find anything. And it sort of collapses, and that's a very nice round from Aurora. We need to be seeing more of this, and it's definitely looking a lot more coordinated than some of the plays that we've seen coming out previously. The fast pace catching Monte off guard, and even though it's been a really dominant half of them, Monte's finances are looking iffy.
They've been fairly consistently ran down to 2 or 3 players. They've not had too many complete blowout rounds, even when they've got early man advantages, so the money's not great. All 3 timeouts used by Aurora. So far, 3 timeouts for 2 rounds. They'll be hoping to increase that a little bit as we get towards the back end of this first half. And Monte, once again, looking for a little bit of a change-up. 2 towards top of con. The boost up on short. In fact, is that the double boost? It is. They've got 2 players up. They're really trying to give Hades any kind of an off angle to work with here. Gizmi remains the lone B anchor as this mid-control starts to creep on down. Grix, he won't wander into this angle, but Norway may well yet. Just toying with it at the moment, and Grix shows a shoulder. Not going to be enough, and Norway with the pre-aim catches Hades on the triple boost. Lean down to half HP through the nades. Demq doing what he can, just brawling top of con, and Ryu with the pre-fire on the USP. They stack the 2 to top con. They deny the bomb. And with 50 seconds on the clock, Climax has got to try and stitch this clutch together. How many times have we said that to Aurora? Lean is tucked in. This is a rancid angle to try and play off, but he's got Gizmy there to back him up. An 8th on the board for Monte. And again, it's just a read on the play. They go heavy into mid, and despite losing an early man, they keep Demq and Ryu posted top con. And it's just a brawl. It's a straight-up slugfest that Monte come out on top.
The fact that they are ready for the double boost up as well. That's what hurts, is that we see the read. We see them so ready for it. Where they find the opening kill untraded as well for the first time. And it still doesn't transpire. And now they have doubled down on mid control, and Aurora, they've just had to give it up once again. Head elsewhere, and it's over towards B that they're leaning.
That's more like it. Again, the man advantage is there. This time it's Lean getting picked by the AWP of Grix. He can rotate back in towards mid as well. He wants this fight towards Connector, and he's going to get it. Ryu, head cleaved off over the top of the smoke, and they know, surely they know that Demq likes to play here as well, or do they? Nor are we overextending. Demq now stuck between a rock and a hard place, and Clax reads it like a book. Hades tries to get into support. He gets his head taken off, and now Demq with no health at all. There's nothing he can do. Gizmy. I mean, we rate the UK lads, but a 1v4 against Aurora feels almost impossible. On the off angle, Kenzie first up. He goes down. And any damage that Gizmy can get here is really going to help out the team, because there's not a lot of finances left on Aurora, but Monte are pretty much broke as well. Bit of a 50-50 toss-up as to saving the rifle or getting the damage onto these remaining Aurora players. Gizmy wants to try and keep his in hand. Problem is going to be Grix posted up, ready to deal with him. 3 on the board for Aurora. A little mini recovery towards the death of the first half.
Exactly, and Grix, a player that we talked about, maybe a little bit of a slower start. That is the statement sort of sequence that we're looking to see. But yeah, the fact that, you know, the options there were try and leave and save the weapon, and given where the money's at, that probably would have been what I was leaning towards, especially considering you've got no eyes on mid. But yeah, lovely having Grix posted up there, because you know exactly that there are only really 3 exits out there. You've got 2 on lockdown. And Monte, they have to go into this final round of the half with nothing but a FAMAS and a couple of pieces of utility. And immediately mid-control lost once again. Monte so good at the first half, and now every round they've lost it. Has led to destruction, and there's some counter utility coming out here, not wanting to give it up for free, and Ryu's going to sit in the middle of all of this. Clax pushing up, needs to find this first pick. The flash is perfect, and all of the players start to topple. Monte 3 versus 5. They've had to give up everything. Ryu's found one, and yeah, they've got mid control. They've got control nowhere else now.
Yeah, free B bomb site. Aurora well placed for the afterplant. I mean, they'll recover a rifle, and Monte will give it a go. It's last round of the half. Why not? But these afterplants should be simply too strong. Demq with a little bit of utility. Smoke and a flashbang to maybe give them half an angle in. I mean, you can already see Patsy's so deep in towards the apartments. He'll lock this one down, even if the rest of the team can't. Hades peeking out, nothing given to him up on short. Demq does well for 1, but the trade is there immediately. Demq continuing to have impact, but it is going to be in vain, surely. Hades gets the D, but it won't be enough. 8-4, Aurora with a small recovery as we head to the halftime.
That I left my distractions behind. In the meantime, I'll blindfold my pride and keep hold of my time like it's gold. Faithful color, reaching to find when I wonder how. Stand on the fire, what's around waste of time. Faithful color, stuck in the backseat, told to drive.
Welcome back, everybody. 4-8 half Aurora bringing a couple of rounds to tie this up, but really a pistol to secure this and claw their way back into what did seem a little bit one-sided for a lot of the first half. All starts here. Monte, can they continue their streak of dominance? And once again, mid, the focal point for Aurora now does continue, but Monte way more focused over towards A.
Yeah, one smoke, two flashes to try and get them out the ramp, and that will come relatively freely. A couple of warning shots fired by the CT side, but nothing to connect, and here comes the early fight. Grix, lovely shot to deal with one, and now swarming into the jungle is Patsy. There is a dink onto Grix here, but they need a kill, and Kenzie's not going to give it to them. Lean goes down. Gizmy just wrestling something back into this round. Manages to get one, but he knows he's got to connect up with some of his teammates here. He's stuck in the middle of sight. Hades does well, and that buys an angle, but now Gizmy in that isolated position will go down. 2 on 3. There's dinks all over the shot, but Demq, does he show his hand a bit early there? Gets isolated, does well to still find a kill out of absolutely nothing there, and it's carnage inside of the site. They tap it, they try and stick it, and Demq and Hades are having none of it. A round that surely got to go down as a bottle job from Aurora. They had the advantage, they had the sight, and they just can't quite clean it up.
I think you were spot on. The moment you said it, Demq showing his hand really early and then actually having to back away. You know, spots 3 players, doesn't find a single kill, and it's like, oh, it's all over. They know where he is now. They can account for this, but they don't. He's still alive. He can still pitch in as well. And, you know, just a small little angle window in the smoke as they were trying to defuse that, was just leading away to their position. So a couple of small mistakes, but again, pistol round. They got a bomb plant as well, Monte, so everything they could want and more. But Aurora, they're still forcing into this. Grix onto that scout, eager to get the sniper rifle back online.
It's one of those really horrid positions for a CT side where you sort of know you've got to force because you can't keep giving rounds away.
Yeah.
And you know they've got AKs. You know they've got more firepower than you. You know they've got better utility than you. It's not like the second round T-Force where you've got half a chance and the guns are decent. This one's going to take a lot of nous to get over the line. It's going to be Patsy first up. Close range, MP9 spraying away, getting a lot of heavy lifting done. And he's got Kenzie there to support. 3 kills out of nothing. And suddenly this round falls apart, exactly what Aurora needed.
This is brutal. Gizmy goes down and Lean has the sight, doesn't have the bomb, and has no team to support him here. And Grix just holding the angle. Has the backup of Glax, doesn't even really need it. Clean shot to the head, and you're right. I think that the fact that they run in one by one, they line up and they let that MP9 close range do so much damage that even if the kills hadn't come through, the peek round the corner from his teammate, that's all you need. Just a couple of bullets, final extra damage. You've just been softened up. Yeah. So yeah, Monte, that one, definitely a rough round to be conceding here. But they themselves, they're going to force. Maybe a little bit eager to return the favor here.
Yeah, very similar position to the CTs last round. Worse firepower, worse utility, worse everything. You are just hoping for a miracle here. It's an MP9 up close. Grix gets a freebie as Ryu goes down all too easy. The flashbang not quite making the line work. And now this gets a little one-dimensional. It's going to be the straight B-pop. Norway falls away, gives himself a little bit of space to work with. It's a 1-for-1, but he's bought time. 2 players now up on short, tapping away at the heads. And despite the early frag from Demq, there's really nothing else going for them. The nades rain in, the bullets fly out, and Gizmy, wow, he's left with a Tech 9 hoping for a miracle. Never going to be. It's 6 on the board for Aurora.
Yeah, not too much to read into that one. It was a hugely different scale of arsenal to work with. You're running in with the Deagles. You lose the first couple of kills, and there's, as you said, one-dimensional. They can kind of get themselves sort of out of apartments, and then there's nothing really more they can do. There's no utility to try hold off any of these angles. The cat players can just come flooding in. It's a little bit messy, but that is, of course, the territory that comes with having this lower investment. And talking of low investment, it's going to be absolutely nothing to speak of going into this round. And actually choosing not to huddle together here, splitting up a little bit, taking that bomb over towards Palace, but maybe trying to draw some attention over in B and divert Aurora's priorities.
Yeah, it feels like one of those rounds, almost a French save this. Just sit back, talk about the next round. Kenzie picks off Ryu in towards Palace, hoping maybe that as Ryu goes down, they don't expect the second man there and he can dive out and maybe get a bomb plant, which, I mean, is looking like it could quite possibly be the case. The HE's run in. There's the push in towards mid, just a demolition job. There's the bomb. Trying to be cheeky with it, but he's got to cover so many angles at once. This is just never going to land. Patsy takes his man down. The only kills on an MP9. Both teams kind of just shrug their shoulders and get on with it. This is where it gets interesting. Rifles are out again for Monte. First opportunity for them to really land a shot in response to the early success of Aurora, and it's the kind of shot you want to be landing if you are going to clean up your opposition's map pick.
Exactly, and we said this was kind of it felt like a little bit of a must-win coming into this with Ancient. Not exactly the greatest win rate, even with the reps they have put into playing this map and officials, so the comeback, it's real. 2 rounds in it, and if they can secure themselves this one, well, they might be looking at tying it up very nicely. Kenzie chucking out that utility, and Gizmy looking around the smoke, will not be allowed to go any further, and even as he does, so much attention put on mid. And Aurora, that was the key to success in the first half, and they're doubling down now, holding on to the control themselves. They've had to let go a little bit, these smokes being a bit pesky, but the HE grenades from Aurora have been brutal.
So much utility damage, just chipping away at them before Monte even see anyone. Mid control speculatively established. Kenzie's still toying with Con, and Patsy still well placed on short as well. So as the second batch of util comes in, the off boost is beautiful, and Ryu on a single point of health lives to fight another day. Kenzie just doesn't seem aware of this whatsoever. They're going to pass straight through the smoke, neither aware of the other, which is going to introduce all kinds of timings, which I think Kenzie will probably get the better of. Grix continuing to wreak havoc on that AWP. And, well, it's another round that just falls apart. Demq does what he can. It's an early kill, but he needs so much more than that, and he knows it. A desperate spam through the wood won't connect. And a 1v3 with 30 seconds on the clock, and that bomb out on an island in mid is just going to leave him so vulnerable here. Clax hears the drop, can't quite land the kill, but a dink will surely be enough for his teammates to finish.
This is also not looking particularly like he gets out of this round with the weapon. They've already got somebody posted up here. Actually does manage to slip the net. It does appear that Norway is going to go chasing for this, however. Ooh, footsteps heard.
Jesus.
Oh, saved by the bell! I would not want to be Demq in that situation. But it's a very difficult one for him, because he's this consistent Palace player, right? But the issue is, it's a very difficult angle to try win these 1v3s from when your team's gone down, because you are in a very, very narrow corridor. There is only one way for you to peek out of this, right?
Okay. We're going to go fast. We're going to go aggressive. We're going to cut Affinity's point off. 2 kills out of nowhere from Demq on the AK. And suddenly, we're in with a shout of a round. Once again, it's the A bomb site. We're just going to target it. Both teams on their T sides very keen with it. The bomb yet to be put down, but another quick trade 1-for-1 as Norway deals with Demq surely means this round is in the bag. Patsy and Grix. I mean, they've been flying high for Aurora so far, but I don't think they can even justify giving this one a look, can they? I mean, the money's there, sure, but are you really going to find anything in a 2v4 scenario? Ryu's watching the CT smoke deep. Patsy set himself up on the headshot angle. Ryu's looking for the pre-fire, but won't quite find it. They're just going to have to surely allow these 2 remaining rifles to be saved now. Can't afford to throw too much more at it. Lean could really do with holding on to this AK.
Yeah, because even though it's a round win, they've not really been able to pick up any of those additional weapons, so stuck here. Upgrade there for Patsy. But that is a very nice round coming out from them. And as you said, point cut off just because of the sheer pace of it. And this has been, for both sides, really the difference maker. When it's looking a little bit stagnant, they switch it up, they go for something insanely fast, catch the other team off guard. And it seems that neither of these teams are really equipped to deal with that. Retakes have been a little bit hit and miss for both sides here. But timeout finally being called from Monte, their first one used. And it's about time I think they've still got many available. Aurora, they burned through theirs very early on, and now that this game is dragging, they have no opportunity to have these timeouts for themselves. So, Monte, their chance finally to have a little bit of a pause to breathe.
Yeah, it gives them an ability just to control the pace of it as well. You go really fast into a round. You probably didn't deserve to get it over the line. You didn't have the firepower to do so. And you let Aurora sit in it. You go, right, you know, fast-paced round. We've taken you down on A. Now you're going to sit and you're going to think about it. Are we going to go fast? Are we going to go slow? You sort of just leave them in that limbo state. And, well, Monte, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They are going to go fast out to A again. And once more, it is going to be Climax deep in CT, spotted out in the opening engagements. Kenzie wants a fight this time. Tries to play ahead of the T-side smokes. Can't quite make it happen. Climax taken out by Gizmi. And that's the CT control established. Deep in is Ryu. A headshot onto Norway, and that's the round. Again, 15 seconds in, we've barely started talking about it, and the CT side, they've got to try and fall away. Grix is not going to be allowed to do it. Ryu deals with Patsy as well. And, well, Monte, welcome to the second half. It's nice of you to connect.
Yeah, beautifully done here, and even Kenzie is maybe potentially not long left for this world. They are all just going to be out connected. He does have a little bit of an advantage here, but there's one. You're right. It's the change of pace, and Aurora, they don't really know what to do with this. Just a constant utility. Every player that we switched to on Aurora there just had another piece directly hurled at their face. And this has been a sore spot for them. Ladder room has been definitely a point of pain for Monte. So maybe a good thing that they are just rushing over towards A each time. Ignore that whole side of the map. Don't need it. As you said, ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't even go there. It's now what Aurora do, because I'm assuming Monte, maybe you try one more quick round. Whether they do it over towards A again is another matter. And then I'm expecting them to ease off, then cut all noise, go for something super quiet and throw Aurora off. But straight towards mid, I don't think it's going to be this round.
Oh, the flash is good though. Clax well enabling Patsy. Freebie to start things off. Kenzie wants the fight. He's toying with Ryu as Norway deals with Hades as well. This one's starting to fall apart. Palace control lost. Mid heavily contested, and I think contested more than realistically Monte were expecting. Patsy gets another before he goes down. Lean at least able to drag one back, but it's 2v4, and these are the kind of situations that Aurora were fairly consistently finding themselves in the first half, and it was a matter of the individuals really dialing it up to 11 to get something going. Gizmi's gone up on the bricks this time. See if maybe he can find an angle. I mean, when you look at these players, you know, they're not necessarily the ones you're expecting to have that kind of miracle round. Grix is on the angle, well placed to deal with the first, and Lean's had a tough half of it. Tough game so far, and he's going to be picked off all too freely. So it's around a couple on the trot for Monte, but they back out of A and they back out of winning as well. 9 on the board from Aurora. The money is just about there to give it another go if Monte want to. The loss bonus will definitely ensure the next if they don't. The problem is Aurora are reeling them in slowly but surely.
Yeah, I think another problem that Monte are having, and it's happening with a lot of players, but specifically Kenzie, they just can't finalize that kill. It's a little bit messy, and it means that players are walking away with half HP, but still walking away from these fights. Monte just aren't able to confirm these kills. It means the pressure can just keep being applied because you're still up against 5 players at all instances. Ryu goes for the fight. There's Patsy. Will burn in the flames of vengeance, however. Hades gets one. It's an immediate trade. And Clax now dancing around, Gizmi with the headshot and the Tech 9, and now Norway probably wondering where everybody disappeared to. Other side of the map. HE to try part the smoke, maybe find somebody crossing. Gets a little bit of a peek of a shoulder, but that is going to be all in the back away because there's not the money, and this weapon might be the best shot they have going into the next round.
We're just scrapping now. We are just taking fights. It's just individuals on individuals. The initial swing onto short. It's a nice idea. It starts to draw the crosshairs away. Then a rush out of Palace through a smoke, which felt more prescribed than ideal. It sort of felt like he had to make that play to draw the crosshair away from ramp, even though it was such an ugly position for him to find himself in. Just about gets away with that. Gizmi draws just enough attention to keep the jungle player busy while Con swings in. And somehow, Monte have scrapped their way to 12. 3 opportunities to put this one to bed in regulation. It's been a hectic and ugly map 1 is how I would describe it. Neither team's really been able to wrestle control of it. Initial success from both sides, sort of swaying back and forth, but this is about the best opportunity Monte are going to have to shut it down. They've got all the firepower, they've got all the utility. There's no AWP for Grix, who's been really, really good with it after a slow start. Clax has had to drop down to the MP9. If you're going to get it done, it surely has to be now.
It was a term I think you coined a couple of ECL games ago, was spectacularly ugly. And that is certainly been some of the fights that we have seen coming out. And Genzi looking for that mid control. It's going to be awarded at Patsy there as backup. But now, actually, Monte not particularly bothered by it. Norway just having a little bit of a jump. But Monte, they play quite quietly. They're not going to give away any information. And Aurora means that they are just going to have to stick to their guns and not able to adjust off the back of this. And smoke goes out. Patsy cut off from mid. And now does mean that a lot less control able to be had. Ryu heading towards connector. And it's Norway jumping. Not going to be spotting anything just yet. They're lining up the AWP shot for when he does.
Yeah, it's on Norway here. The split into B is looking violent. He does spot it out, does drop the smoke, does buy space, flashes late onto Patsy, and he gets a free kill onto Gizmi as a result. T-side with a little bit of side control, but Norway is still wreaking havoc top of Van. The kills come all too easily. And a B pop just disintegrates off the back of one poorly timed flash. If Patsy goes down, the round is done. Instead, it's double digits from Aurora, and for Monte, the economy breaks right as it's back to the drawing board.
Ladder room is cursed today. Ladder room is closed for business, specifically just for Monte. Because every time, it's been crucial moments, and it is always Patsy, and it's always ladder room, and they're never ready for it. And again, as you said, off the back of it, that's the round that they fumble. They are just going to fully eco on this one and hope just to stave them off from overtime. But, oh, it's incredible. Straight through the wood. Immediately an opener. And the rest of Monte, they aren't going to dare peek this.
They're just going to go one by one with the Deagle here and see if they can get a kill. And if the first one fails, then someone else will have a go picking it up, and we'll just keep looping like that. Ryu being a bit greedy with it, won't go for the peak initially. I mean, they're drawing a bit of util out, but at this point, realistically, it's so close to the end of map 1 that it doesn't actually matter in the grand scheme of things. What they really want is maybe a bomb plant if they can get away with it on Monte, build up a little bit of extra cash, allow themselves to pick up the extra utility to try and squeak this one over the line. Ryu leading the charge, Deagle in hand. The mid setup, however, is very solid. And Ryu, he's going to get the run boost across mid, which is a nice idea if you land it. And if you don't, you're just left to look a fool. Hades on the picked up Deagle does manage to find one and a second, which isn't too bad going. Out towards top mid. Grix trading out his teammates' deaths. And Hades on 6 HP, I mean, you're asking for a miracle on this shot. Grix baits it out nicely with the shoulder peek as well. And with 30 seconds left on the clock, I mean, Hades has got to get on and die here. Or at least get that bomb down. He can't really afford to be dying after the clock's gone red. Grix just having a casual look at his knife. Spots Hades out again. Lets the team know, yep, he's exactly where we thought he was going to be. We can all hear his footsteps. And we should be trading him out relatively cleanly. 11 for Aurora. And it's last chance saloon in regulation for Monte's T-side.
Yep. It's come down to the wire here, and if you're Monte, you're probably kicking yourself that you're even in this situation to begin with. You know, you had a 6-7 round lead earlier in the match, and now here we are, potentially overtime. And now, as you said, Grix on the AWP and has been so good with it, and that is exactly what Aurora is going to need to step up here. Kenzie having a look, actually just going to jump straight into the tunnels here. Not getting too aggressive, just willing to sit on his hands. And here they are, tension readjusted towards mid. And actually, Monte done a very good job of forcing them back.
Mid control taken, the util's solid. As you said, they've shoved them back into their sights. The question is, what can they get done off the back of it? Smoke into the ladder room. They're not going to let that be their undoing again. And this B split is coming fast. Grix, though, still on the angle. Finally mollied off. Patsy, it's just a free 1v1. They have to start getting these trades. Hades gets one. And while Lean picks off a rotation, that bomb with 1:05 is stuck. Lean on 23 HP up against a full health Clax is never going to happen. And MQ They know exactly where this man is. They know exactly what they're looking for. Grix waits on the angle, misses one, but his teammates won't. It is 12 all. We'll need overtime here on map 1 to separate these two lineups.
I think it was only ever going to be this way, wasn't it?
Of course.
Said it was pretty evenly matched teams, and we said that the only match in this veto that is particularly, you know, skewed one way win percent wise is Ancient. But yeah, this is exactly what you expect to see. Monte, they want to extend this little bit of a pause between regulation and round 1 of overtime just to have a little bit of a chat here. We're going to see the AWPs coming back out for both sides. We talked about money being a little bit of a problem for Aurora, having Grix on that AWP, and now that's not really going to be the case for them. And T side, it's looked disjointed for both teams.
I think that's really been the takeaway here. Neither team's really managed to wrestle control of the offense. And for Monte, that's where the trouble lies, because coming off the back of just a 4-round T side, they've got to go straight into 3 more. And try and keep the pressure on, which hasn't really been felt by Aurora. You know, Patsy and Grix have had relative free reign of, well, whatever bomb site they've ended up at. Need to see something different out of Monte here. Need to see sort of that second hit, that second phase of the attack after they've got their map control. How they then look to leverage it. Because once again, they're going to go into this mid-fight. They're going to take the initial control. They'll wait for the blown smokes, reset. But where do they go from here? Clax dinked up early. Gives me Ops to go quickly, just charging up Con. Demq's with him, and this is looking a little bit better. Ryu swings out from top stairs to grab a second. And while there is still a man under dark, Norway surely is in a one and done. And indeed, just about he is. Hades bails Gizmi out of his spray and buys a 4-on-2. Bomb to be planted. Grix looking for the spam. A little bit of connection, but not quite enough. And with Demq still posted in Palace, surely this is done, or is it? Hades caught on the escape, giving this CT side a little bit of a look in now. Gizmi on low HP. He's got to be a little cheeky with it, and he knows it. Sat inside his own smoke, looking to play the timings. Will creep out, surely, as that AWP sound rings out next to him. And here he is, deep in the CT smoke. It again is a laboured spray, but he gets his kill, he gets his man. And finally, Monte find a conversion on the T side.
4 rounds too late, but it does come through. And you're right, I love that Gizmi just sitting in his own smoke. Little bit cheeky, little bit sort of that unknown entity, but it's good they finally got a round. They need it absolutely going into this. And Aurora, a little bit of a tough one. Not 100% sure what to read into it just yet. Of course, first round of overtime. It's a little bit funky. All of these teams have had a second to breathe, and now it's whether Aurora can steal this right back as well. They know that it's been pacey, and this time Clax getting ready to be swarmed once again has unfortunately been met with nothing but utility after utility piece and not being able to contribute as much. Grix on this angle, misses the shot and dinked in exchange. Clax trying to climb up the ladder. They know he likes to play here. Gizmi is going to find the trade immediately. Kenzie looking to try peek into the site, and Patsy's actually got Ryu stuck in connector here, and suddenly, yeah, they've got sight, but the walls are closing in already.
Yeah, it's such a one-dimensional hit now. The smokes are coming out to try and buy any kind of space, and, well, you got to imagine they'll be disrespected. Kenzie with the spam through. Molotov goes in to buy yet more time. That bomb is yet to transition to site. They're so conscious of an early retake from the CT side. They're watching every angle. Gizmi does get the kill, but immediately the trade is there. Spammed on down. The man advantage just not going to be given up by the CT side of Aurora. For Hades and Demq. How do you stitch this one together? You know there's a man in towards jungle. You know there's likely some CT presence. And you know you've got nothing to lock it out. Hades scopes up, tries to buy the space, misses his first shot, sells his teammate down the river. And there is Grix to tidy up the pieces. And it's again, you don't get the timings. You don't get a couple of fortunate kills. The round just slips you by on the T side.
Yeah, difficult one. There was no utility to cover that. You really needed the AWP to be that, essentially your smoke, essentially to be the cover for that plant there. But as you said, missed shot, sends his teammate to a shallow and early grave. And the peek off the back of it from Grix is immaculate. difficult one because when it gets to that point, there's so little you can do. You're just relying on your opponent to make a fumble, and it wasn't going to happen. Ryu out of the flashbangs. Kenzie, however, the readjust is crispy, and now looking straight away. Knows that Demq has been a little bit of a menace in Palace in the first half and is ready for it, but they've got trouble in mid instead.
Huge amount of damage done by Patsy, but splits it between 2 players, so neither quite the kill that he was after. Clax now spotted out, will be mollied out, counter smoke goes in. He's just got to stay alive at this point. Holds on to his position, holds his angle, and just keeps the T side thinking about him. And reset however he likes, but instead he resets straight into the crosshairs. Hades with 1. Lean once again. He's finding his feet in this series, and it's helping Monte out a hell of a lot. A 2v4 after plant for Kenzie and Norway.
Lovely HE.
Again, just chipping away. Gizmy and Lean tagged up, but you're going to need some fairly quick fire shots, even though there's low HP bars, if you're going to get something done, and that's not the way to start. Spray not connecting, and Lean able to punish. Kenzie just looking for anything. Just needs a fight to be given to him in this 1v4, and it's just not happening. Monte know they've got him locked out. Hades swings on by, and there it is. 2 T-side rounds for Monte. Surely good enough to get them done in OT1.
Exactly. And CT was where they thrived so heavily as well. So coming into this with the advantage, that's looking up for them. Aurora, they've had some great moments. It's just not really been coming together as a team a whole lot. And the worst part is they've had really solid reads. They've been able to see exactly what steps Monte were going to take. They've just not really been able to do anything about it, as you said. Finding lots of damage per split across 2 players, just never really sort of crossing that finish line. And now Monte, they've got everything that they need. Almost. It's not quite a flawless overtime half, but they'll take it. Grix immediately mollied off the angle, and Lean jump in, just going to keep throwing stuff at them and holding them off here. It's going to call over Hades for a little bit of support.
He's been left on a little bit of an island at the moment, but he might get away with it. Ducking and diving just about avoids the worst of the bullets. Counter HEs off the back of it. Do get a couple of licks of damage. Nothing too significant, but there's Lean swinging in as the window smoke, I think, just misses its mark on one of them. Seconds blown. Despite the tags, the man advantage goes the way of Monte early. There's Gizmy trying to shoulder into connector. Gives a little too much of it to Grix, who will take it with open arms. So the mid control is still there for the T side. The problem is, it's the mid control and absolutely nothing else. Or is it? Grix again chiming in up connector as Demq gives him a gift of a fight. And now this CT side, they are stuck 1-1-1. Ryu trying to do what he can with it. Aggressive in his position towards the ramp. He knows that Lean is trapped here, and it is just surely a matter of time until one of these bullets connects with his skull. The Molotov comes out, he swings on wide, and there it is, 2 on 4. As Ryu is left to be the hero in this one. It's going to be the A-site play. Sets himself up on Tetris, tries to give himself a little bit of an off angle to work with. That bomb still has to go down, and Hades can keep chipping away from the connector. There's the swing. There's bomb down, and there's Hades chiming in once more. And now Ryu just has to stay alive, but a lightning headshot from Clax buys a chance. 1-on-1, Hades switches to the AK. 2 angles to hold, and it's the jump up and takedown. Monte have their 15, a 2v4, which I hesitate to even call a retake. Hades just metronomic from short. The 15th they so desperately needed is theirs, and they've got 2 opportunities to lock it out again.
That was... every step of that was like whiplash in a different direction. I think one of the things that really helped them, that the fact that Ryu, as you said, slips back into connector just about, but not only does he do that, he gets the information on the players in mid. Doesn't go for the fights, just heads straight through the smoke and can call out to the rest of his team that there was still 2 hanging about in mid. And that information, monumental, they can shift over players. And of course, Hades, the individuals just stepping up majorly. 1 more round needed, and this was exactly what we said last time. 1 more round. This seems to be their Achilles heel a little bit. There we go.
Just made a straight call off the rip, 3A. Gives me posts up on short where Hades was previously. Hades takes the option in towards triple. Mid crunch is in again for Aurora, this time much less contested. And it's a nice idea from Gizmi and Monte as well. They save their util. Aurora have to commit theirs, knowing full well that last round they scrapped and fought for every inch of control in mid. The question will be, does the gamble pay off? No mid control means Kenzie gets into window room for free. And you can see the adjustment, you can see the read as Aurora start to put these pieces together. They've worked out there's nobody in towards middle. So likely it's a stack towards one of these bomb sites, and as Grix gets the better of his counter AWPer in Hades, maybe that draws them back into what was, for a brief moment, the more heavily occupied site. And now it's just DemQ with a lone ramp player in Ryu to try and support the nades raining in. There's nothing DemQ can do, and I think Ryu, well, we asked for heroics from ramp before. I don't think it's going to be 2 from 2 here. Ugly spray. He dinks up one. The damage is huge, but no kills are found. And Gizmi, yeah, you get one, but the trade is instant. Lean will not be allowed to survive this. Despite 13 points of health between Norway and Patsy, they will hunt this. They will take the rifle away. And it will be 14 for Aurora. One more bite at it for Monte. Their 6th attempt at shutting map 1 down. It is Aurora's map pick. But with every second that goes by, you can feel their confidence growing.
Exactly, as you should. And Aurora, they've grown into this map control exponentially. And it's meant that Monte, you know, they've not been able to rotate. They've not been able to get any proper reads on where they'll head afterwards to adjust. And often they've also been losing these picks through connector. Patsy goes down to the bomb. A little bit unfortunate, of course, as we said, 11 points of HP between them. These bomb radiuses are lethal, but you can't blow it a 6th time, surely. You cannot screw this up a 6th time. You can, and they might. That's the worst part. But I think they need to do something about mid. Because every round that they lost to Aurora on the first half on CT side was in mid. And then they started hemorrhaging rounds because of this mid control on T side. You can't let this be your undoing.
Oh, Grix. Ryu, don't do that, lad. Straight in. Just feels like the individual fights swing against them and all hell breaks loose. Trying to be cheeky with it, Ryu, but, I mean, you spam through the smoke, you make your head so damn visible, and there's an AWP just waiting to peel it away. Gives me tanks a nade on short. They want to do something about mid, they've heard you, but they're just not being allowed to. A slight gap in the Molotov might let Hades live half a second longer, but he whiffs the shot. Norway's there with the punishment, and, well, Gizmi, that's just a play out of desperation. Swings into mid to try and trade his teammates down. It's never going to happen. OT1 is done. We'll need a second if there's going to be anything to split these rosters apart.
The real question is, right, how many map points are we going to see Monte on? And what's the record? That's what my question is how many can we see? And because, you know, we've seen all of these major comebacks, you know, like 12-1 down, right? But this doesn't feel like that, because it feels like it's been, like, fairly close. But then they pull away, and it's like, yes, momentum, that's what we're looking for. And then it just doesn't go anywhere. But, you know, CT side, still a chance to redeem themselves, but it's Grix once again, opening pick after opening pick. They're just letting this guy get away with just every fight in mid.
He's really found his feet now. Looking lightning on the AWP, taking fights against Hades at will. And when you lose that early man as a CT side on Mirage, it's just nightmare fuel. There really isn't an adjustment you can make to try and cover all the gaps. You're leaving space, you're leaving isolated fights. You're looking for a miracle somewhere. Thus far, Monte haven't really been the team to produce them. Rotates are going to come in. The gamble has been called here. We're going to bet the house on A, and at the moment, it looks like you might just win. Bomb on the ramp, one in towards Palace. If they can isolate the bomb, they're in with a really solid shout here. The problem is it's on the back of Patsy. So as they look to split up, flashbang beautiful. Demq now has got to lock this one down. Man in Palace is Clax. He's got util available as well as they look to flush the angles. There's one for Kenzie. Demq on a pivot gets two out of nowhere and gives me a chance at the miracle. There's one, but the dink isn't enough. Grix like lightning. And Aurora open their account in OT2.
They have finally taken the lead, and it's spectacular. Grix just on an absolute tear today. And it looks good. You know, as you said, Demq has been really, really monumental here and has been the player stepping up, maybe a little bit surprisingly, has been that hugely impactful player, trying to find these multi-kills in moments where it's really needed, and often playing from very unfavorable positions. But that alone just hasn't been enough for them. It seems to be just a back and forth. It's like a tennis game. You're watching the ball go back and forth between who's playing super, super aggressively, overwhelming, running down the bomb site before anyone can really do anything. It's just both teams having a bat at it. And it looks like we are just going to continue in this vein for now. Mid, once again, they're choosing to forego it fairly heavily. Actually, I think St. Gizme to have a look. I think they might, but of course, smoke. It's not even mid that's the issue this time. Lovely HE grenade's going to force Patsy forward. The flashbang's amazing, but they haven't found anything off the back of it. And there it is, a double kill. It's all that's needed. Clax finds one before dropping, and they've unfortunately sprung the trap that was in wait for them. Norway now watches Grix take one down, buying him the space to push forward a little bit. They've got the utility to get round this, but they've got no utility to hold is the issue. No smokes, no Molotovs.
Plenty of time to reset, though. This one's not done yet. 2 on 3. Norway posted as Grix is looking for the flank that is coming. Oh, timing. Gizme will just about get away with this one as he starts to close the net. Norway and Grix. As you said, there's really no util to lock them off these angles, so it is going to be fight or die. Ryu tucked in top con. Hades posted CT. Grix is just looking for any kind of a difference on his angle. Anything he can do to change up the fight. But little does he know, every step he takes is closer into the arms of Gizme, who lurks through Palace. This is going to be a tilter for Grix. It's going to be a gift for Gizme, and there it is. Norway, last man on site. Never to be. Monte, a nice recovery, a nice idea from Aurora fast into the A site, but you got to clear your corners and lean the beneficiary a double that he had no business getting, and it nets Monte round number 16.
Not only does it net them round 16, they get that off the back of the fact that Lean opens enough opportunity for Gizme to go on that tremendous flank, right? Because that's not the sort of opportunity that you have when you're pressured onto the site quickly. You've got to take your time with it, and they do, and Gizme is able to flourish in that situation. Now, Aurora, they ignored mid last time. It was a very one-dimensional attack. They're not going to make the same mistake now. Gizme, however, pushed up. They've not really taken apps control this heavily much. They find a pick, immediately back away, not too greedy, and not going to be punished for their hubris today.
Really nice adjustment on the shot from Gizme. Perhaps he should have had him dead to rights, but instead, man advantage Monte, just what the doctor ordered. Mid control conceded, but with good effect elsewhere on the map, and CT side, they want to get back into this. Kenzie tries to fake the smoke. Lean is ready for it, but they wander into the crosshairs. Norway gets a dinked up Ryu, his own teammate, taking him down there, and that mid-crunch does open up the opportunities over towards B. Once again, it's going to be a heavily disadvantaged situation. 2 on 4 to play with, but bomb is going to go down. Clax and Grix. Full health on Clax, and well, Gizme goes down, so there won't be a fast boost. It'll be a little slower up onto the bricks. Clax sets himself on short. Grix starts to clear out the market. Demq's position here is going to be absolutely key. The double HE tries to force Clax out. Doesn't quite happen. Demq needs to get a shift on here. He can't leave his teammates in the wind. Lovely shot from Lean, and now Grix. He's been huge in this second half. He's been huge for Aurora. How much more can he do? He's spotted, surely dealt with. Lightning on the flick for one. That bomb is a hell of a long way ticked, but Lean will get his man. And with a kit on his back, he will just about skim round number 17 for Monte.
Oh, it is so close. None of these rounds have the right to be as close as they are, but difficult situation there. The fact that the rotate through apartments is quite slow, as you said, the opportunity there to sort of completely ruin that holds day. The fact they whittle it down to that 2v3 as well, is they've not had the opportunity to find much space beyond the bomb site before they plant. Because a lot of these rounds have been situations where they're planting with only, 2, maybe 3 players left alive. And so it definitely does make holding on for dear life difficult. But 17... One away from yet another map point.
How many can they have? How many opportunities? T-side has been unfavourable. Initial mid-control. Just a spat, really. Not leaning into it with anywhere near the kind of viciousness we've seen from them in rounds previous. And, well, Aurora seem to have a pretty decent read on that. Couple of players curiously prodding at it. But nothing of any real significance. A 3-man lean towards A. And, well, it's going to be a pop out the smoke. It's going to be a look for a miracle. There's the swing from Grix for one. Molotov goes in to flush out the player under dark. But it's just not quite working out for this T-side at all. Too many fights, not enough kills. Hades and Gizmi to try and recover the situation. Hades finally picks one. But it's a 2-on-3 with so much control still here for the CT side. They have got this cross on lock. Patsy and Kenzie, or do they? Patsy turns. Shows the shoulder and Gizmi takes it gratefully. Now Kenzie looking to swing from on high. Gets one. Norway is there to back his man up. And just as it starts to get sketchy, Aurora lock it down. 17 all. And the CT side, once again, it's just where both of these lineups are flourishing at the moment.
Exactly. I'm not 100% sure what drew the attention away, because I thought they knew that Gizmi was there as well, but apparently not. But again, recovered beautifully. They're not even going to let that bomb go down. And tied up on the scoreboard. This does really just feel like a game of ping pong. Okay, I like this. A lot more presence towards mid, and Hades finally going to win out that mid duel. Still
hasn't beaten Grix. I'd be interested to see the split at the end of this, because Grix has had his number. But the Orpa does get the man advantage for his team, and it's the gamble call now from Aurora. 3 to B. Clax left. Clax to be tested here. There is a little bit of a clock on this. As Patsy starts to consider exploring towards mid, he's going to call Norway up for the assist. If those two players can start to clear a couple of the angles out, then maybe they get an idea of what's coming before Monte managed to get into the site itself. But instead, it's a call to aggress mid to take the space, and that will open things up. Hades is in a fantastic position to lock them out of this one. Clax goes flanking. Clax gets found. And while Patsy and Norway are just about in position, how much can they realistically get done from here? Flash through the smoke. Lean is ready for it. Norway in no man's land. And Grix so far away from the fight that surely there's no impact to be had. That bomb will make its transition. Norway does catch Gizmi on the edge of a fading smoke. But there's so many bodies here. This one should surely be a goner, or is it? Norway pistol out. Buys his team a 2-on-3 they had no business having. He's down to 19, but if he can isolate even one more fight, then he buys a little bit of space for Grix to get back into this one. The round-the-world flank from Demq to get himself into ramp to support Hades on the angle. Lean surely just stays alive, buys as much time, as much space as he can, but there's Norway. And that's the AWP down. The cross is open, it's available to them. Finally, Lean chimes in. And that kill will be the one that surely secures this. They so nearly bottle their lines, but Monte, with their dying breath, have got themselves yet another map point.
Oh, you can tell the grey hairs already. Like, this is not how any of these clutch situations should be going. It looks really unfavourable. And then it's just a matter of aggressive peaks, finding players maybe a little bit off guard, attention slacking a little bit, but another series point. This time, there is no buffer. This is, you know, one round is all Aurora needs to tie this up. And we go another overtime. Climax has been so diligent over towards A this time. Actually, they're just going to sit back a little bit passively, and no one really hazarding too much over towards the center of mid. Happy just to sit back, let the utility be drawn out. Gizmy, they've got the double orbs out now.
Yeah, double two-side orb. Gizmy, I love you, mate, but I'm not sure this is the one. He's going to creep up B. Hades has posted ramp, not seen anything yet. Huge amounts of control taken. The bomb looking to work its way out mid. They have got both sides of the map locked out at the moment. But where do they look to take this? A has now been abandoned formally, and here comes the smokes into mid.
They're spread very, very thin here. And it does mean that mid is just going to fall instantly. There's nothing they could really do to get back into this. So they are just going to bunker down on those sites. They're going to move Kenzie over towards B and hope that they found the right place. And Gizmy is causing a lot of chaos over towards A. Grix hoping maybe a pot shot through the smoke would have been everything, and it is. There's the pick, and Patsy's got another one as they funnel directly into him.
Done.
And now Gizmy with the AWP. It's not going to work out for him, and just Hades left. He's in mid. And they're just watching for this. And we're going to overtime number 3.
We go again. 18-all. Neither of these teams able to establish control. Neither of these teams able to shut it down. It has been Monte with map point after map point. Bottle job after bottle job. They just can't call that decisive shot. They can't keep their man down on the canvas. CT side start for Aurora here in OT3. Opportunity perhaps. It's easy to overlook that they've never actually been in a position to shut this one down. They've constantly been playing catch up. Maybe this is their opportunity to finally stretch something out in front of them and buy the space that they've so desperately craved. Ryu, a laboured fight onto Patsy, but it comes in his favour. And there again is that man disadvantage.
And Norway just has to back up and reposition. Can't really stand alone on B and fight. Trying desperately to maybe find some resources, find some teammates to back up, and just has to forgo B. So gathering up, waiting for the retake, but look at that position in mid from Lean, ready to cut off the rotates. Ducks back into apartments, getting ready to bolster that site holder. Norway trying to find an opening, a pick, anything to buy his team just that little bit of an equalizer.
Yeah, they were so far away from this retake as well. Nobody inside of B. They didn't really realise what had happened. Two players still deep positions on A. That bomb already well over a quarter of the way ticked down. Util coming in. T-side haven't had to use all that much, so their mollies, their flashes will keep the CTs busy, and they will ward the CTs away entirely. B-site retake, 3-on-4, limited util. It doesn't matter how much money you got in the bank. If you throw rifles at that, you are just throwing them away. So round 1 goes the way of Monte. How many times would that be that they can't find the decisive round, but the one immediately after they land?
I think that makes it that 8 now? 7? 8? Well, that's how many they fumble. I think this is the 3rd time that they've won the round directly after it going to overtime. So yeah, there's definitely a conversation to be had in here afterwards. Dragging this game out, and mind you, this is only map number 1 of a best of 3. And the longer this drags on, the harder every map after this gets. And we talked about these small little faux pas, these small little fumbles, and these are only going to get worse and worse as the series goes on. And Grix, it's just incredible. Okay, Gizmy.
Nice adjustment. Nice frag, but he gets the nades out just at the critical moment. Demq gets caught trying to make it out a window. That is a fumble if I've ever seen one. And now Grix ready and waiting on the angle. Hades does very well to bait the shot out, but he can't adjust onto Patsy. And as much as Lean gets one, it's a 1v3. Limited space, multiple bodies, the net slowly but surely closing in. Grix will get his second of the round. A 40 bomb for him here on map 1. In just 38 rounds is not bad going. And we're back on level pegging, 19 all.
19 all. And it looks like the double orb's coming out again. They've taken it away from Gizmy. They've said, nope, no sitting at the adult table for you. It's DemQ's turn. And... have they? No? Okay. They've switched it back last second. I like this. I like this. I don't think it was the right move. I don't think the double orb was working. Leave it to Hades.
They tried it once.
Yeah, leave it to Hades. The man has been on fire with it. And talking of on fire with the Orc, Grix trying to find something. Kenzie peeks out, but met with 3 heads, hoping that Patsy can find a trade, and does indeed. Grix has found that advantage player. Gizmy trading, and Ryu stepping up as well. They buy themselves an advantage and some space to work with. Missed shot from Hades, but you can see it. He's panicking. Grix trying to find a way to recover this, but the nade from Grix is going to kill Hades from the grave, and now Norway last left alive, but they know where he is. The flash could be good. His own teammate's flash might be good, but there it is. Ryu finds the pick, and that's 20 rounds as we go into the second half of the third overtime.
2 T-side rounds for Monte. Surely that is going to be enough for them to get it over the threshold. The T-side has been disastrous for both of these lineups. There's no two ways about it, but now they have bought themselves a golden opportunity. The individual brilliance of Grix, Patsy not far behind versus what is actually a fairly balanced board for Monte. Everybody contributing, everybody there or thereabouts. Time is the great equalizer, as they say, and, well, Aurora, they've used up every second of theirs. Norway legged up on the opening engagement. Just about gets out to Delpan. Buys himself a little bit of space in towards mid. The adjustment comes in. Hades looks to re-rotate. Wants the fight in towards short. Wants Gizmy to help him out. More nades raining in. Surely that's a kill. Norway could have caught that in his teeth, and somehow he's only taken 7 damage from it.
That's criminal.
The mid-crunch coming in. The space taken. Aurora somehow still 5 on 5.
I don't know what the plan is. They've got so many posted over towards A, but that bomb looks like it's trying to head through mid. Gizmy waiting in ladder room, and Kenzie pushes through the first smoke. However, it's going to fade behind him, and Gizmy has the opportunity now as the second fades to have a little bit of a peek. HE damage chipping away more and more. Thank you. Having a little bit of a jump. Here's the burning damage, and Ryu round the corner at max speed. Patsy gets another kill in exchange, and Ryu jumps back up. He spots the Palace player, can't find the pick, and Patsy there as well. They know where all of these players are, and Norway, however, on the AWP in mid, keeps on firing. The adjust is almost good. The mid shot is going to leave Ryu the opportunity to find the trade. The HE goes deep, and it should do the job, but it doesn't matter. Kill was already found by Grix, and now 1v2. Grix jumps on over like Spider-Man, finds the first, backs off, smoke to cover, and Hades can't really do too much. He has to go up the steps or just forgo this. He's going to let the bomb go down. Has picked up an AK in the meantime. We've seen him win these.
Oh no, Grix has got him. Wallbang through. Round 1 goes the way of Aurora. An absolute slugfest. Monte looked like they had the read. Norway just about does enough in mid to cut the rotations away. A CT side that just can't maintain control. The site lost. Hades bought a 1v1 on his unfavoured AK. Can't quite isolate the fight. It had to be Grix. Of course, the only man he could possibly come up against is the one who's had his number every single time. Pick the gun. He'll still have you. Aurora clinging on, but with every overtime getting just that little bit more confident, that little bit stronger. Monte called the stack, 3 towards A. Gizmy posted short again. Hades this time just locking out the B-bomb site. He's had good success there when being called upon. Problem is, how rarely have we really seen Aurora hit that B side of the map? How many times has A been the target of this T side's offense? As once again, the A split is going to be the call. 2 inside a Palace. Nade chunks Ryu. Molotov goes in, licks at his feet. 45 health now. That A-bomb site gets weaker and weaker, and Gizmy feeling the pressure, wants the peak, wants the angle, not going to be given it. Smoke goes out. And the bomb looks to creep its way up the connector. The counter is ramp control. Lean and DemQ take it. But in doing so, they leave the A site isolated. They leave Ryu on an island.
And that smoke's going to
with
fade any
35,
second.
they've got no time. They are so low on it. Ryu has to swing, does well for one, but Lean's gone down in the meanwhile, and now they know there was ramp aggression. They know they go there in duo, so Gizmy, as he spots out one, has got it all to do. DemQ is locked out of this round. Hades, the B player, he's done good work from short, but surely this one's going to be a bridge too far. Stuck behind the smoke. Afterplant's just given up to Aurora. There's nobody there to contest any of these positions. Hades does well. Opens things up. DemQ's fight on ramp is critical and he loses it. Clax gets his mark. And for Hades and Gizmy, with one flashbang, there is just no way they get back into this. The afterplant is locked. The bomb is already halfway ticked. Grix is shotgun opening inside of the site, for God's sake. There's nothing they can do. It's going to be, for the very first time, map point Aurora.
I am at a loss for words here. It's... The huge thing in that round as well is just how far Aurora managed to make that utility run. Because it felt like every time Monte went to peek anything, there was something being thrown at them. So they had them locked out of every point of visibility for that entire round. And that final nail in the coffin, of course, Gizmy being smoked off in mid, means that he can't contribute anything. DemQ's stuck in ramp, because of course they take ramp control at the expense of giving up the site to the Palace players. And it's super fast. Hades with one. Clax has found an exchange, and there's another player in mid. Ryu is gonna fall. No support. Nowhere to hide. Hades, the smoke blooms in his face, and he's just got to go up close and personal. Switches to the pistol, gets one, spamming away, gets run down, but look at that lean from Connector, gets one, and that bomb has been dropped as well. And
I mean, Kenzie's got 22 HP here.
Yep.
There's no health. The bomb is right in Lean's grasp.
He has to drop down to get it as well.
That molly could be huge. He knows where he thinks the man is. Smoke is available. Flashbang to reset his position if he wants to. 55 health versus 22. It's a game of cat and mouse here. Smoke's gone out onto the bomb. Kenzie wants to draw the fight. Knows he has to take it on favourable terms here. So little health remaining, he really can't afford to be moving even the slightest bit when this fight starts to come to pass. He sets his angle as tight as he can get it. Resets. No peek given yet. Kenzie wants it. He wants more. He's surely going to spot him any second now. Another Molotov picked up. Another flame at the feet of Lean. But this one's a bit too deep. And does that maybe lull him into a false sense of security here? Does he start to think that he's read this wrong? No, he doesn't. Counter molly comes in from Lean. Now both know exactly where to look. Exactly where to swing. Kenzie lies in wait. He keeps his crosshair perfectly placed, and he gets his man at the first time of asking. Aurora have their map. 22-20. They get it over the line.
What a round to end on there. Aurora, so many fumbled map points. Monte, so many fumbled map points on their opponent's map pick. 6, 7, 8, they start racking up, and then in the final round, everything's looking good. If they just hadn't thrown that Molotov at the end, you said, is there a false sense of security? He has the bomb, he has the angle, and gives all of that up just to try put a little bit of imaginary space between him and the player that wasn't needed, gives away his location definitively, and that's all that they need to pounce. And that's it. That's map number 1.
I am at a loss for words. Monte, how do you recover from that mentally? I mean, Patsy had a blinder of a game. He was our player to watch, and for good reason too. Grix, I was baited away from making him the player to watch.
That's my bad.
Lights out. 46 kills I've got it at, and that's not even at the end of map 1. It's still going on in the corner of my screen. just ridiculous numbers from the individuals, and that was what it really came down to, was Monte did not have the individuals to step up to the plate. They were well even across the board, but the miracles from Grix and Patsy bought Aurora the lifeline they so desperately needed. They take their map pick, and after this briefest of breaks, we will head to Ancient. Don't go anywhere, you don't want to miss this.
I'm bulletproof, don't ever lose. Put the evil in the devil and I'm let it loose. I'm an earthquake, make your bones shake. There's no question I'm the king, I always dominate. A force to be reckoned with, better remember it. Look at what I can do, walking all over you. Incredible, it's criminal. I never lose, I'm bulletproof. If you wanna be my love, boy, gotta take it slow. If you wanna be my love, I'll show you what you wanna know. If you wanna be my love, boy, gotta take it slow. If you wanna be my love, I'll show you what you wanna know.
Yeah. La 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 la. Yeah. Your life hits hard, but I hit right back. I never back down. I keep it on track. It's the same day with no problems. I keep rising from the bottom. Cause when the sun comes up and I look around, I can feel that love, I can hear that sound. They're never gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now, and that I need to worry about. Cause I got no problems, I know it's gonna be alright. It's getting better every time. Nobody's gonna kill my vibe. Cause I got no every day was a war. Yeah, it kinda took a while. When they tell me I should stay, I just jump with a smile. Yeah, it's hard until you notice. Everybody's got their moment. When the sun comes up and I look around, I can feel that love. I can hear the sound.
Think you've seen it all? With Faceit Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive Faceit points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, Faceit.
And so we head to Ancient. Aurora take their map pick of Mirage by the skin of their teeth, 22-20. And an hour and 40 minutes later, we get ready to do battle again. This time, Monte's map pick, Ancient, will be where we head to decide it. And it's a map that looks on paper to be much less heavily contested, Affinity.
In theory, this is a map that Monte look pretty good on. Both of these teams, they actually played a lot. The difference is the win rate percent, with only 38%, the lowest of all maps for Aurora. This is statistically their worst map. That doesn't take into account, how many times it gets played and the repetition and all that, but they've definitely had a rough old time on it over the past couple of months. It was a month and a half ago, I think they got 13-0'd by OG. It's not exactly been smooth sailing and clear skies for them. So this looks like Monte have the opportunity to finally redeem themselves. But alas, we saw they struggled to close on out. Aurora's looking pretty good. And if Grick stays on the form that he was in, especially at the end of that first map, then I don't really know what you can do about that.
Definitely felt like Monte had a really hard time shutting down the individuals. Gave far too much space to the AWP, and, well, he was hitting every shot in the world, wasn't he, towards the end of that map one. Everything he was given, Grix was more than willing to take. So definitely some holes to be patched up if you're Monte, and I think you're dead right. The confidence that will come from Aurora. I think we got to the stage where they successfully defended like 8 map points to then come back and take it over the line on the first time they managed to drag themselves ahead. That's going to bring a huge amount of confidence to your team and definitely give you a lot of momentum to carry into this map too. We'll have to wait and see if momentum alone will be enough to get them over the line. As you said, Monte, a map they're very comfortable on. That nuke just lurking in the background, that deciding map, if and when we need it to split these two lineups. But I think realistically, for Monte, it's going to come down to simultaneously shutting down the big individuals of Aurora and starting to activate a little bit more on their side of things as well. I mean, we spoke about sort of throughout it how Monte almost leveled off. You had every single player on a very similar number of kills. I think the spread was about, 7 or so between top and bottom. Compare that to 26 from Aurora and consider that their bottom frag was only 5 behind Lean. You look at it and you go, where's the star power in this Monte lineup? I mean, Hades was the only player to go positive on map 1.
Difficult situation indeed, and we talked about it so many times. There were so many key rounds and key moments that it was laboured and messy sprays that weren't quite doing the job, that they weren't able to finish the kills that they needed to continue to take that map control, to alleviate the pressure, to allow their teammates to just not be massacred elsewhere on the map. And so sometimes it was just those little moments where they needed to be finding these kills, where we talk about the individuals on Aurora, where they were stepping up, finding those kills, and putting themselves in those advantage situations, right? Damage is only good if you can find more off the back of the damage. So that's something that I want to see cleaned up a little bit here as well. But on the flip side, Monte, their utility usage was nuts. There was so many moments where they had rounds on lockdown just by being able to spread out when they used their utility and where perfectly. And it just meant that absolutely no line of sight could be established. They couldn't take any space, any control, couldn't even see anything. And slipped a little bit towards the end, but it's a fresh slate now. I'm just really worried about, as you said, it's been an hour and 40 since we got this show on the road. I think it's hour and 45 now. So these players are going to start getting a little bit tired, having to be so on edge and in such high tense situations for such a long time without that ability really to ease off. Because even the rounds that they were winning on both sides, they were close. So many clutches.
Yeah, there definitely wasn't any opportunity to switch off. It felt very frenetic as well. Every round was on a knife's edge. Every retake felt possible. Aurora were throwing bodies at every problem. And more often than not, we're finding at least damage out of it, if not, miracle rounds left, right and centre. So It's going to be intriguing to see, actually, as we get sort of further into the depths of this series, how things start to play out. I think that's probably why we're seeing a slightly extended break before the start of Map 2. The players just taking advantage of every second they've got to kind of reset and settle down. Give yourselves just a moment away from the screens and the tension of the situation, because for Monte, it's going to take one hell of a mental turnaround to bring themselves into Map 2.
Yep. It's their map pick. They're not starting out on their favorite side, so it's not the best start, and off the back of the last map, but that's where the line of professionals is drawn. That's your ability to reset, come into the next map. You could have had an absolute stinker. Case in point, Mao's getting 0-13 and then still managing to take it 5 maps, right? You need to have that ability to go, okay, yeah, you know what? We bottled this one. We screwed up big time, but now's our chance. If Aurora can get a good start on this first half, then trouble's gonna start brewing, because we talked about the difference in win rate, but as you said, this sort of level, they are playing day and night, day in, day out, round the clock in officials. 29 maps recorded in the past 3 months for them on Ancient. It's maybe not necessarily their favorite map, but they've played it a lot. They've played it the second most of any map in the current pool.
Yeah, it kind of gets to that stage. We talk about it a lot with Mirage, actually, interestingly, where you say it's very much a level playing field of a map because everyone knows how to play it. Everyone has repped it so many damn times that it's just impossible not to know the angles and not to know the utility, because you've just done it over and over and over again. It's like riding a bike. When you're playing 30 Ancient maps in 3 months, you do start to get towards that sort of a place, irrespective of win rates and how things went and what happened. It's just, we've played so damn much of this map that we're bound to know the angles and we're bound to know the timings, and you sort of just get this intrinsic feel for when pushes are going to come and how you have to play and the back and forth you have to give across the map. So for Aurora, this certainly is not done. It certainly isn't a guarantee by any means. Monte will be looking inevitably for the redemption arc here to take us the distance and make something of this. But, well, we've been here a good long while now. The players are starting to take liberties, I think, as we settle in. I was really hoping as that bar disappeared we would be live, and it looks like, thank heavens, we are. Map 2 about to get underway. Aurora starting T-side. As you said, Affinity, a pistol conversion, a few rounds on the board, and Monte could start getting mighty nervous.
That they could indeed. Certainly a choice to start on T-side.
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it. I quite like it as well. If we take a look at the stats, statistically they're slightly better at CT side. They have a slightly better win rate. But it's not a great deal. The other issue that we see with them coming into this as well is they don't have an amazing pistol round win rate on specifically Ancient. I think it's just below 40%, which is not amazing. But I think might just be having some issues with a couple of players. But I think time seems to be ticking down, so I think we might be ready to head on to the game.
Thank goodness for that. We've all had enough of this non-Counter-Strike time. Let's get it back and going. Double dualies for Hades and Ryu over on the CT side for Monte. They split the sites with them, one either way, and, well, it's going to be a straight B setup here from Aurora. No mucking about. Util's going to go over the top. We'll pop into the B bomb site and see what we can find. Hades toying with aggression, looking for it down the ramp. The dualies are very hit and miss from this kind of an angle, but the flashbang is inch perfect, and Hades' charge is only one. The damage is huge, but the kills are not. The re-aggression into cave is the call, and Kenzie, well, he might find this out the hard way. He seems to have half an idea of what's coming. He spots both, and that's huge information now gathered for the T side. They drop their util, they charge in, they pin them, and they have to charge on out now. They are walking into crosshairs, but Lean does not care. 2 headshots despite the dink on his teammate, and he's bought them a 4-on-2 retake here. Demq posted deep, a man in the cave, but Clax has just 12 HP to work with. Norway needs this first kill, and he needs it cleanly, just not quite coming for him yet. And there's Ryu chiming in with one. There's the other. Monte starting Ancient, as they surely have to.
Exactly. A little bit of a difficult one there, and had to get a bit of a move on. No kits to be seen, but worried me a little bit. Hades is big there, definitely aggressive, and you said gets one on a lot of damage. It's the fact that Kenzie, I don't even think Kenzie was flash. Kenzie just couldn't find the kill on Hades. Narrowly just dancing and weaving around the bullets allows him to do so much damage, and there was a possibility that that could have been even more devastating than it was. Turns out they do only go 1 for 1, but it does also mean that they gave up a lot of that space. Monte had to fight back onto the site. It's certainly messy, but it's a round win, and God knows Monte just want round wins after that last map.
Just need to get them on the board. Bomb plant goes down, so the option for the Force is there, and Aurora will willingly take it. Looking to pile the pressure onto Lean on the angle, gets charged down by Clax and Norway, and this is going to be a fast-paced acceleration into the B-bomb site. Gizmi is already on the flank here, so there is so many timings on the board. You can see the T side of Aurora. They're very aware of the possibility. The question is, how long can they afford to stay in the cave holding on to it before they have to go and support their teammates inside of the site? Gizmi spotted, slightly awkward for Clax, but he gets the job done, and now so many bodies inside of this cave. Demq knows there's one, but surely this is a one and done angle. Indeed it is. A 3v2 retake for Monte to try and conceive, and without a kit in their hands, this might just be a slink away. It might be 1-1, and they are going to sign it off. Ryu and Hades forced into the save. Aurora hit B again, and this time they make it work.
It's the super pacey, especially with the SMGs, that catch Monte off guard. And yeah, that's exactly where the weapon excels, but also most damaging round to lose. You win that CT pistol, you invest, and then you lose the next. It damages your economy, and it sets you up so poorly for the next, 3-4 rounds, sort of minimum. And so Aurora, that is the nicest round you can be looking to take, and it's all off the back of just throwing themselves in Monte's direction. Hades did it on the pistol with the Julies, didn't find a great deal of success, but this is Aurora's sort of signature style. This series seems to be just mind, body, soul right at the enemy team.
Looks like much of a muchness here. They're going to scrap it out mid. The util's good. The counter util's better, though, and Gizmi there charging through with the MP9. Yet more damage. Patsy down to 21 before he's seen a man. Dives into Z and just about keeps his life. They're going to re-accelerate into B off the back of this, and Lean with a 5-7 at range isn't going to have much to say. They need to get this bomb down swiftly, though. They really don't have a lot of time to play with before these rotations are going to swarm inside of the site. Multi-kills required now in the afterplant situation. Norway gets one, dives back out of the smoke, buys himself a little bit of space, takes a tag on the chin, and Patsy and Clax with a headshot apiece have surely locked this one out. Through the smokes, they demolish the retake hopes of Monte, and as Gizmi is spotted, dealt with by Norway, they demolish it, and Grix finishes it off.
Lovely stuff there from Aurora. And having this ability to have so many in the post plant and set yourself up, you've taken that space back over towards excavation, so that you can have that sort of situation where if they do push, if they do go for this retake, you can have somebody on side sort of baiting themselves out for that secondary peek as well, knowing that you've got that buffer and space to retreat. Now, Monte, nothing but a flashbang on sight for them. With them, they've got each other's back, watching each other's six, and they walk directly into Grix, but run down. There's the first pick, a picked up weapon as well, and they have conceded that A site, but they'll be happy with it. Forced forward, and Gizmi with another one. The pistols, they are ringing loud and proud, and they stop the bomb even going down, forcing the fight with Gizmi, but the issue is, you're going to force the fight.
Oh, it's ugly. It's so ugly. They charge through the smoke. They're doing everything they can to buy time and space, but a nade from above gets two, and that surely is the nail in the coffin. The pistols of Monte try so hard, get so much done, denying the plant initially, forcing the hand of the T side. 3 kills is plenty, but they would have wanted more.
It's quite literally the Monte holy hand grenade. I'm hoping that somebody gets that reference. This will be very,
I
very
mean,
sad.
Gizme will get it, but I think very few other people will.
Monty Python is... But yeah, what around that? And that HE grenade is everything, because they're low HP, but there's still enough of them to cause issues and make Aurora uncomfortable. It makes it difficult for them to plant. It makes it difficult for them to establish post-plant, because there's so many, they're so close, that you are just worried about being overrun. So you can't really take the time to plant, just in case someone jumps out from the smoke, takes you down right there and then. But the fact that that grenade takes down 2 and that the damage had been done to allow that to happen, it's Aurora future-proofing themselves earlier in the round.
3-1 start on your opposition's map pick. It's not a bad place to be. Rifles have come out for Monte, however. Lean takes the sacrifice down to the MP9, and this will be the first opportunity for them to really stretch their legs and show us what they're about. Grix is going to get the boost up. Try and take some presence, and it's Patsy instead out mid who deals with Gizme. Out on an island, trying to take some control, be proactive with it, but really nobody there as a supporting member. Just leaves an isolated 1v1, a nice timing, a flash over the top, and space taken now by the T side. You can see the adjustment almost immediately, rotating off of B is Hades, calling for the support of Ryu, and they're actually going to abandon the B bomb site near enough entirely, lean into the retake setup, picking up a little bit of util to try and buy time.
Time is all they can really ask for right now, and actually I like this move over towards mid. Hades working his way through the map. He's actually going to have a little bit of a confrontation potentially with Patsy, but tucks himself in, just about misses the timing, and Patsy and Kenzie not 100% sure what they want to do here and how to piece this together, because they're running low on time now. They've got to try overwhelm, and actually it's just really Lean and Ryu they've got to deal with here. But DemQ, look at this, the silent, the stealthy. There it is.
The freebie.
It pays off, and luckily Trigger Discipline isn't going to backfire this time. Lean runs out, meets 4 of them. It's information at best, and at worst, leaving teammates locked out of this. But Ryu dancing around, sight in and out of the pillar. But Hades...
All on Hades.
Yeah.
He denies the plant, 10 seconds. Grix has got the AWP, he's going to have to shotgun it, switches to the rifle, switches to the pistol for no discernible reason, must have been out of bullets. And Monte, a much-needed lifeline. Hades picks up the rifle, denies the bomb, denies the space, and denies the time for Aurora. Another scrappy mid-round. Man advantage for Aurora. Well punished by DemQ. The flank timed to perfection. Just about doing enough inside of the site itself. Ryu, as you said, dancing around the pillar for all he's worth. Hades misses the insta-smoke lineup, has another bite at it. And well, he might well be punished for it, actually, because out mid we go. 2 players looking to charge, taking the nade damage on the chin of Clax and Norway. But the mid control is established.
Yeah, they've just got to sit back and respect this now, and it's small little moments like that that are going to cause your downfall. And they're going to work over towards Red Room. Are they going to respect the smoke? Absolutely not. There are 4 of them. They have the player advantage. More bodies than you have bullets. Actually, choosing to back away a little bit, not risking it just yet, as they send Kenzie on a wild goose chase all the way over towards A to meet up with them, I presume. In the midst, though, Gizme finding a nice little position. Yep.
Grix on the angle. Lovely pick from the AWPer, and now either site realistically a possibility. Just a matter of which way they choose to go. Lurking into A main is Kenzie, so that way they shall head. Game of timings. Up on the boost is DemQ. He's bought himself a little bit of space to work with here as the charge comes in towards A. Blinded up initially. Clax gets his man. And now a 3v5 afterplant. Bomb doesn't have to go down in visibility of Donut, which will surely make this one a done deal. Norway looks for the plant in a fairly open spot. Blown smoke won't do them any favours. And as Clax deals with Ryu, it will be a fallback from Monte. A 4th round and inevitability from Aurora. And well, Kenzie, he's looking to rub salt in the wounds here. Finds 1, not quite the 2nd, but he's called it out. The AWPer's position now known, and as Hades hightails it, he will be hunted to kingdom come. All 4 Aurora players are looking for him.
Yeah, this is, your time is limited, and they know exactly where you are. fight's going to be on all fronts here. There's one, switches back around, the swivel's good, spots the leg of the second, and actually, if he can just run here, somehow lives to die another day.
That's really, really nice. Buys a little bit of space. Nicely flicked across. We know Hades is more than capable of it. Especially when Grix isn't the man hunting him down, but problem is nobody else is really going to have anything around him, so it's going to have to be a one-man show here if Monte are to put up some kind of resistance in round 7. Norway straight onto the Mac 10 to look to farm up, and where does Hades look to take that big green? Over towards B is the call, and for now, looks like a smarter move as any as 4 players take the lane.
Actually,
Well
going
placed, actually.
super aggressive with it, and oh, it's not even the bullets, it's the nade that gets the job done, and Norway with the Mac 10. Oh, it all falls apart.
Yeah, that's job done. Norway should clear his corners here, and we'll just keep farming up cash. Nades and Mac 10's doing all the work, and yeah, Clax gets one through the smoke he's traded. I mean, it's nice from Gizmy, it's a little bit of something, but that AK, you've got to imagine, will be recovered by Norway. And at that point, it should be jobs are good, and he's going to hide in his corner and hope just to catch another one. It's another really nice P250 shot, but Kenzie finally puts his man down. 2 kills. I don't think Aurora will be too fussed about that. One of them's the Mac 10. That gets traded up immediately. They're 5-2 up. They're in a really, really strong position here, T-side of Ancient.
You said it. You like that they chose that T-side start, and you know what? I'm starting to believe. I'm coming around to the idea. But
it's just the momentum. That's all it is now.
And Monte, they've not been able to piece together 2 consecutive rounds, and that's going to hurt them here. And the utility's looking particularly weak, and Demq needs to find a multi-kill early if he's going to commit that hard, and doesn't. Suddenly A is empty, but instead of moving people over, they're going to have a look at mid instead, and Patsy's waiting the greeting party. Here's the reload, is looking to potentially punish.
Oh.
Ooh, what a swivel.
Nearly lines them both up, just about a 1-for-1 trade, and that will open things up over towards the A bomb site. Util comes out. 3v3 after plant is not a bad shout for the CT side. They need to keep bodies up, and Hades does just that. Lovely shot onto Kenzie. Buys a little bit of space. This bomb's still yet to go down. It's an awkward plant. Plenty of angles to cover, and Norway planting in full vision of Ryu is just risking everything. Gets away with it somehow, some way. Hades now posted CT. Norway, he wants donut, but he's showing his back to 2 CT players, all too easy. As Grix is left, 1v3. He's on a nice angle for the first at the very least, but smoked off, limits his options, catches a shoulder, starts it off well. Bomb tapped. They're trying to bait him out into the shot here. Limited time on the clock, and a tag isn't going to be enough. A 3rd round is secured by Monte. A little bit fortuitous. I don't think Norway really expected them to be in donut, much less 2 of them. Shows him his back. Had to take the risk, I suppose, and it pays off well for Monte.
Yeah, and you got to feel for Grix. You know, read that situation, played that individually to perfection there as well. And so, not really much that you could do in that instance. Was very, very close, albeit, to killing the diffuser, and if he'd been able to tuck back away and just toy with Hades a little bit longer, there wasn't a kit on him available, so could have been a very different situation, but alas, that is not how the cookie crumbled, and Monte, they do find through in that gap. Is now only 2 rounds. It's looking a little bit better on the Arsenal, but Aurora, they've got to be careful, because Gizmy is already hunting them. Patsy back-turned, and Demq all just about misses them as they push forward onto ramp, and they push forward onto a site that they have now already cleared.
That is just savage. So many low HP bars. But so much of it unconfirmed as well. They have a bit of a feel for maybe the tags, but just not convinced yet. Nice catch from Hades. That may well tempt them in here as the bomb goes down. 3v3. This one might not be done just yet. Grix takes the leg and words. Wallbang headshot through the smoke. Traded by Hades. And now it's on Grix. There's a flank from 1. Gives me aware of the possibility. Hades inside of the site itself. Norway swings for it, and the missed AWP shot is surely game over. Gizmy, he's stuck in the lane, and Grix just isn't giving him the fight he so desperately needs. He needs this kill and then to hightail it to site, but the AWPer will not move. You shall not pass this corner. A 6th on the board for Aurora. Once again, an isolated success from Monte that they cannot and will not find continually. Every step they take, Aurora punish. Nice kill at least.
I was going to say participation prize sort of there, not really amazing. But actually, the AWP passed on over to Hades, who is sort of leading the charge a little bit here. There's certainly been some interesting calls for where that AWP has been played. The shotgun AWPing that we've seen a couple of times, I'd like to see maybe a little bit further back to allow a bit more of an opportunity to use the scope side of the gun, as opposed to using it as a shotgun. But this time, mid kind of left to its own accord. At least the beginning here. Now it's going to be Aurora taking steps forward. Norway pushes through the smoke and there's no one really there to deal with it. MQ is going to see the smoke come on over, and actually Hades met by a wall as well. But it's Kenzie with 2 as they get aggressive down ramp.
Nice kill from Lean at the very least.
Yep.
Something, potentially a recoverable rifle as well. I'm not sure how much they're going to expect in Clax. Indeed, Lean just walks right on past, and as Norway deals with Hades, Demq will pick up the AWP, and we'll hope for a miracle. Swing and a miss as he doesn't quite land the first. HE goes in to chip away at him, and they are just going to hunt this again. The money, whilst not great, can afford to throw a couple of bodies at the very least into this AWP. Enzi on low HP might be a very viable candidate for that as they look to pin him down. Either way, a 7th round T-side for Aurora. Just riding on the high of getting that map 1 conversion done. And Monte, it has just at times come down to the individuals. It's 1 or 2 moments. You know, we spoke on map 1 about how as Norway takes down Demq, the heroes were there for Aurora and they just disappeared and never quite turned up to the party for Monte. It's felt much the same here. It's been 1v1s, you know, low HP bars, but not quite conversions, and then ugly, ugly retakes where you're trying to get into a site where util's locking you out, time's against you, and nothing's working.
It's got to hurt the mental as well, because there's been so many moments that are just so close, a matter of HP points, a matter of bullets. And gee, switch up a little bit here. Gizmi's once again tried to go a little bit aggressive towards mid, but he's doing this solo, and he's got 1. He's backing away. Kenzie desperately trying to find the trade kill, but Gizmi's already out of dodge here. And the smoke just to hopefully put a little bit of space between him and them. There's a player in red room wanting to put their name into the hat. The Molotov forces the fight forward. Good for 1, and could have been worse. However, Patsy, Grix, they both find kills to tie up the scoreboard. Lean hears the footsteps, sees the smoke come out. Does he have a little bit of a window here to work with? The flash, gonna dodge it. Peeks on out, takes Grix by surprise, and Gizmi, that's the perfect opportunity to pounce. Switches over to the AK, and now just Kenzie left. Does have the bomb, but they don't know where he is, and slowly but surely crawling through mid. Gonna jump on up. Actually, Hades is gonna start hearing this soon.
Yeah, he should be good and dead here. There's really nothing he can do. I don't think he's going to be expecting the man towards ramp either. Plants in full view of it. Job's a good one. Lovely stuff. Monte, that's what they've been trying to get going 2 or 3 times now, is Gizmi down mid, get him a pick and get him out of dodge. So far, Aurora have been doing a really, really nice job of just stopping him at the pass before he can even really get any control of it. This time, they leave him lurking around. He manages to pick off the man towards Heaven, dodges into Donut, and despite a couple of trades in a very frenetic round, it is another nicely timed flank from him to grab the second in mid and lock it down. Does a decent amount of damage to the economy of Aurora as well. I mean, a 5-round recovery, considering how one-sided this has felt, would be something fairly spectacular for Monte. 3 techs and 2 AKs are all that stand between them and that recovery, as they look to take wholeheartedly lane control, shall we say. All 5 players here just setting up for the fast pop, I think, into the cave. And indeed, Lean is going to be mollied into it.
We've seen him do
Makes his decision, sticks rather than twists, and there's a lot of fights coming his way here. The smoke is good for him, and 2 quick kills surely means we're going to see 5 here for Monte.
It's not over just yet. 2 AKs recovered, and Clax might be able to get a little bit of a kill here. Oh, it doesn't. It's wide out in the open, standing in the Molotov, and Now Kenzie trying to pick up the pieces. That would have been a lovely kill to find. And there's a second. Are they going to peek in? It does indeed. And now Kenzie low HP, but 1v2. Bomb on back, but now surrounded on both sides. Little does he know it. Demq smoke, but it's going to be ahead. And that's the half. 5-7 as Monte claw back some semblance of a half.
Gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now, and then I need to worry about, 'cause I got no problems. I know it's gonna be alright. It's getting better every time. Nobody's gonna kill my vibe, 'cause I got no problems, 'cause I got no problems, 'cause I got no. Do you feel a little down? Say it. No problems. Let you in, but you out. Sing it. No problems. They're never gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now. Had none I need to worry about, 'cause I got no problems. They're never gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now. Had none I need to worry about, 'cause I got no problems. I know it's gonna be alright. It's getting better every time. Nobody's gonna kill my vibe, 'cause I got no problems,
Monte really dragging themselves back into this one, kicking and screaming. It felt like the momentum had swung. The day was done. But 5 rounds, 5 isolated rounds might just be enough. A pistol would be a great place to start if they are to continue their winning ways and keep us going to map 3. Clax, though, is already looking to pick them off at the pass. Now an isolated Kenzie. Stuck into a main, but Clax is there again to back his man up. A second kill before the smoke quite pops. As much as Kenzie goes down, the man advantage is here for the CT side. No kit. So they have to get into this site quickly, and they know it. Already up Temple, already scrapping with Hades on this angle. Needs a quick headshot, lands one. Immediate trade is there from Clax. Patsy's clear, will be critical here, and he lands it. Demq last up, 1v3, smoke on the bomb. His position known, so many bodies to fight, and it's just never going to happen. Norway, despite being blinded by his own team's flash, gets the kill. The defuse will come through. An 8th round on the board from Aurora.
The start that they needed to continue this. They chose to start on T side and now coming statistically onto their better side and the more favoured side. And the pistol round on top of all of it is just the cherry on top here. Monte they got the plant down, so there's going to be a little bit of money. You can see them toying with the buy here. Do they go with the AKs and forgo the utility, or maybe stick it out with the Galils? And it's going to be a weird mixture of all of the above.
Just about able to get the buy happening. They got enough util, as you said, for one biter to full exec. Enough firepower on Lean, Ryu, and Demq to maybe get something done, and they're going to send the AKs in early. Ryu on the angle takes the tag of the nade on the chin and chips away at Norway. One of those classics where you're on a headshot angle, all you can see is his head, and you somehow still tag the body. But without that early pick...
Very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty grim. But without the early pick, have to reset. Into mid they will go, and Aurora relatively willing to leave this portion of the map uncontested. Clax is on the crack angle in towards Donut. 2 towards Cave for the CT side, but Red for now wide open for the taking, and 1 minute and 3 on the clock. Monte are going to start taking it.
That they are, and they're going to be met with no resistance until Clax got an HE in hand. It's not quite going to go... Oh, I said it's not going to go deep enough. That is a lot of red on the HUD, and now Clax waiting to farm up the damage. So many flashes, so much utility, and Grix gets to Ryu and Demq, however, they are putting their names on this map. And that bomb has a little bit of an opportunity to go down safely. A lovely shot from Hades, but now just Demq left. 9 HP
in a dream.
2 flashes, though.
Can he get them out? Can he afford to switch? Patsy and Kenzie on full health. It has to be headshots. It has to be instant. Puts himself on the angle, and Patsy is having none of it.
You said instant. You got instant, but not quite the way that we were hoping for.
Lightning fast on the headshot. Demq actually took down Gizmy in and amongst the chaos as well. All that damage done by the HE of Clax finally paid off. Just needed a little bit more space inside of the site itself there. Couple of nice kills, but not quite enough from the force buy of Monte. And with 2 players left up, CTs will be very happy with that result. Bomb plant going down does open up the potential of another half buy. 2,900 loss bonus. We'll see some text coming out into this one. A little bit of utility as well, so we're not done yet. But Monte are starting to feel a little stunned here. Backs against the wall. Their map pick, 4 rounds down, and another half-hearted force buy to try and make work. In fact, I say half-hearted. Demq's gone off the deep end.
Demq is hungry for kills and is gonna have to prove his use of this Galil. And unfortunately, it's really, really messy on the other side of things. Gizmy, Ryu go down. Lean and Hades, however, it's not even the rifles doing the work. Grix, nice little HE grenade as the rest of the team get here. Molotov not quite going to go fast enough to take them off the plant, but now just have to sit and wait out these smokes.
Low HP bar on Demq makes this viable, but a Tech 9 up close, a quick headshot, and this could be on. Patsy, though, having none of it. 2 quick kills. Clax in with 1 more. There's barely half a player's health between the 3 remaining CTs, but they get it over the line. The force buy does huge work, and just a couple of bullets heading in slightly different directions would have meant that one was on. The lack of armor, the aim punch, all of the above come back to haunt Monte. It's double digits for Aurora. And well, we're not quite at last chance saloon yet, but we are certainly headed in that direction. This is the buy. If Monte want to get back into this one early, Hades, AWP in hand, forgoing the head armor is a big risk against the M4A1s, but he feels he needs to make it to put himself in a position to have some impact here. 4 AKs out in support. An early util dropped in towards mid.
It's a lot dumped in, and it's going to be only Gizmy really taking a look. Has the back up there of Lean as well, but Clax with these early fights has been an absolute menace, holding down the side almost single-handedly. And MQ, it's not quite the kill again.
How does he get out of that situation? Should have been dead to rights or one and done. Even on low HP, just the fact he's alive and a body that can hold an angle gives something to the CT side. Into red they head. But Grix is so ready for that. Flash goes an inch too deep. Gizmy's punished for it. And the CT side with lane control through Norway. It's easy to miss that on the HUD, but he's deep into the T cubby. Grix sets himself on the angle again. This is a 1 and full back, and that's exactly what he'll do. Resets. Calls for the flank of Norway, who will start to head into Jaguar. And there is a clock on everything Monte do at the moment. This one is seconds away from collapsing, and there it is. A flawless round from Aurora, right when Monte needed to land a punch.
It's just so clinical as well. And it's the fact that they're able to pull over these rotates so quickly and so fluidly that they've bought themselves the space to do that. Monte, they're heavily investing in one and only one location, and it means that they've got no eyes, they've got no flank watch, and it's causing them a lot of problems here. And this is the buy to try stop them hitting that all-important series point, and it's Tech9's once again.
How much can you get out of them? They've been close time and again. On the edge of making it happen. The damage has been good, but the final kills have never quite come through. They're going to charge into A here. The Molotov won't deter them. The flash should have. It's somehow only a 1-for-1, and Grix is a little bit isolated here. He knows it as well. Has to switch between two angles. Support lines being ran by Patsy, however, are inch perfect, and despite Grix going down, Patsy's on 2. And he smells blood. Switches to the Julies as Demq on just 1 point of health slips away into main. Still a minute on the clock, but...
Look at Bomb.
How do you do anything with this? The Bomb, as you said, is in donut. You've got no health to work with.
No use.
Do you even want to save a Galil?
Are you going to be allowed to save a Galil? You get hit by a nade. You look at a drop that is too high, even slightly wrong, you die.
Is he hoping to go around the world, perhaps? The problem is wherever he goes, even if he gets the drop on one, there's still 2 crosshairs turning in an instant. It's going to be a game of timings for Norway. He's aware of the possibility, and all he has to do is whisper in the direction of Demq, and this one is done. There it is. Takes the dink on the chin. 12 on the board. 7 map points for Aurora. Monte had 8 on map 1, and they couldn't get any of them. Can they repeat the favour?
I don't want to jinx it for Aurora right now, but you're right, it would need to be 7 in a row, more than they have got this entire map, and you'd have to do it consecutively. The buy, it's not perfect. There's a Galil in the mix, and there is a lot of util missing on Ryu and Demq. And so much of it already going to be used in that initial fight over towards B, taking that space.
All the eggs in one basket here. Full B lane. They need everyone together if they're going to make something of this. They know that. Isolated fights have not been going their way. A full execute into the B bomb site feels like the only viable possibility. Grix ahead of the smoke opens it up. Nades to pop, and Demq, he's ready for the possibility. Manages to spray down Norway. That's a plant opened up now. Taps it once. Wants the fight. Wants to draw them in. Nothing given so far. Kenzie stays alive in towards the cave. Buys more time for the flank of Clax. They're going to play the smoke fade here. And Patsy's playing the exact same. Leans quicker. Man advantage. First time in a while we said that for Monte, but Grix is having none of it. A quick fire double. The AWP and the tech. Clax on the backstab, and it's Demq again. 19 HP this time. A 1v3 after plant to play with. They're spamming him. They're tapping away at him. He's not been spotted just yet, but now he is done. 8 map points squandered on map 1. Aurora at the first time of asking on both maps. Get it over the line. A 13-5 here on Ancient to finish the job. And what a performance from them.
On their weakest map, no less. And it's not even close. You know, the first half towards the end, we saw Monte coming back into it a little bit, but no, that is it. And that's also the lower bracket. That means Monte, they are out. Their chances at Pro League, they are gone, done and dusted. Aurora, they move forward. I believe it's only one more series that stands in their way of making that playoff brackets now. It's a tough one, and it is a really painful loss for Monte. As you said, 8 map points, 8 chances they had on map 1 to take this. And we thought coming into this, that Aurora, that they must win Mirage to make this a 3-map series and win, right? Mm-hmm. Because we came into this looking at how they've been playing on Ancient recently and worried. And they say, no. Silence. Silence in our court. and they bring out this performance. I'm loving it. Grix had a couple of shaky series, but my god, is he back on form. But Arcadia player to watch. Patsy, look at that. Patsy, not even the top fragger, and still coming away with 92 ADR. 93 ADR if we round up.
Yeah, he was absolutely everywhere. Really did a solid job entering on the T side. Multi-kills left, right and centre. Almost dragged Aurora single-handedly between him and Grix. Dragged them back into map 1. Got that one over the line. And then came and dominated on Monte's map pick. The mental fortitude from Aurora to come back into that one, to keep scrapping away at it, and then put it away at the first chance of time of asking. I mean, that's the kind of clinical nature that you need. If you're going to make these kind of runs in the lower bracket and you're going to make Pro League happen, you've got to take your opportunities. Aurora did that, and I think fundamentally, Monte just missed it. They needed to take those opportunities early. If they put Mirage to bed, they take Aurora's map pick early, they pile the pressure on, I think we could have seen a 2-0 go the other way so easily. But instead, it's all that experience we talked about, right? When we selected Patsy, we said, look, here's a player who's been to tier 1, he's done it all, he knows how to deal with the pressure, he knows how to step up when it counts, and that's exactly what he did.
That it is. Now that is going to be it from our game, but if you are not Counter-Striked out, if you still need some more evening entertainment, there are plenty more games and more regions on the way as well. So thank you so much for joining us for this match. I think it's been incredible. Any parting words from you, Wolfie?
Well, the A stream's still live, so go watch that.
Go watch the A stream, you heard it here. Go say hi to them as well. But from us here over on the B stream, good night and have a great evening.
We're not the only ones. 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 We're not the only ones.
Days gone, I won't waste another one. Oh, that darkness, it won't set me back again. Oh, I'm not asleep or awake. I won't let the future escape.